I'm disappointed in every one of you.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to offend you.
I'm disappointed in every one of you.
I kiss you on the mouth.
No, I'm not cool with that. Just, I'm sorry.
One more time.
I'm disappointed in every one of you.
I mean, I'm dealing with degenerate animals.
I'm disappointed in every one of you. Disappointed in every one of you.
All right, come on.
Honestly, I can't do it no more.
I'm disappointed in every one of you.
Let me tell you why.
It's gonna be all right, Nicky. Go ahead, shoot.
We just killed a fucking man.
What are you going to do about it?
Yeah, because you got nothing. You don't got a thing. Yeah, because you got nothing. Got nothing.
I want to get out of this rat hole. I want to get online. I need
BDA boxing.
Welcome to BDA Boxing, the Boxing Debate Arena Special Edition. The Stu Little Show. Stu, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here, bro.
What's up, man? How are you?
Yeah, I'm good, man. Good.
All right. Well, Stu, this is your show. You can do whatever the fuck you want. And I will invite some people. I'll be here for a little bit, but then I have to bounce. But yeah, Stu, take it over.
Yeah.
What do you want to talk about?
Well, I'm just getting at the boxing news here a sec. So,
okay.
So I got some talk. Yeah, so we thought we'd do a show today. Butcho's going about his business, so I've stepped up to the plate like I always do. Last minute notice. No 3-month camps here, mate. Last minute notice into the Lions Den. But yeah, here we are. I mean, you can ring in, call. I don't know who's going to take the calls though, Butch.
Yeah. I don't think we can take phone calls then.
Yeah, so you've changed the title, man. But you...
Shit. No, wait, that title says the Stuart Little Boxing Talk Show.
Oh, does it? Okay, I thought it said calling show or something.
I'll send some invites.
Yeah, got the regular panelists. UK friendly time. Says Saint Brit. Yeah, it's about time the BDA thought about their UK followers. Always catering to the Americans, aren't they? BDA and Butch. Always catering to the Americans. But yeah, here we are a bit early. I can't do a late one tonight. I've got a party tomorrow. This chick I'm seeing is actually throwing me a party for an early birthday party, shall I say, because obviously she's doing the sober October load of bollocks. I ain't doing that. I don't do sober for anyone. So I won't be doing that with her. So she's decided that she's going to have the party tomorrow because the rest of the week it's raining in the UK. So apparently it's going to be hot. Nice evening, bonfire out there, loads of food, loads of other cheeky little bits, if you catch my drift. You know what I mean? So I'm going to try and get an early night tonight, but we've got a few stories. Del Boy's in the chat, so if Del Boy wants to come in and help me,
you know what, Stu?
Pleasure to do.
I'm going to log out with my Butcho account and then log in with the BDA account and call you, because that way, when I go out, I can jump in when I'm at the store.
Yeah, do that then.
All right.
So I just stay online?
No. I'm going to hang up.
Call
I'll call you back. I'll call you with the BDA account.
Oh, okay.
All right. Hold on, people. Need to do some shenanigans here. So Mr. BDA is going to be like, what the fuck did you do? You kicked me out. All right. Un momento, por favor. There we go. There we go. Now just have to call Stu. Oh, there he is. Fuck. Ah, shit. Yeah, all right. It's all good, man.
Hang on, mate. Hang on. Yeah, we got G Boogie in the house.
No, he's not. He's not there. He's not answering.
Well, he says he's in here, but with me, he says he's in here. Never mind, he's not here.
All right. Continues to.
Yeah. What's that? The Discord link.
Yeah, that's a Discord.
Do I click on that as well? Do I go on that as well then? I thought I'd just join the call.
No, you're there. You're live.
I'm in the Discord call as it is.
Stu, we're live.
Yeah, we're live. Go ahead then. So you don't have to put me into no more chats.
No. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. See Johnny Boy in the chat. You Johnny Boy.
Yeah, Johnny Boy, join in, mate. I'm going to need a hand here.
Del Boy, I don't know if he wants to join us.
Stephen Lawler's in the house. What's up, BDA Butcho Stu? BDA's not here at the moment. Yeah, we've got a bit. Might as well talk some boxing, isn't it? Fuck all else to do.
Yeah.
So just waiting for someone to come. I think Johnny Boy will join me. Dowd can always join if he wants.
Hey, this Saturday we have the fight, Derevyachenko Charlo. It's happening.
The Charlo. Yeah. I mean, one I'm looking forward to. I mean, it's about time. I can't really remember the last time I've tuned into a Charlo card and be excited for it. It's probably the first time ever. So yeah, obviously I'm looking forward to it. It's a fight where both Charlos could be in trouble if they don't come at the best. If I had to put my house on it, I'd probably say both of them win it. If I had to choose which Charlo could win, if I fancied to lose out of the two, it would be Jamal. I think Jamal could get the nod against Derevyachenko. Just to say that, I think Charlo's capable of knocking Derevyachenko up. I'm not sure he will. I think they might go to the points. I'm going to go with a 12 round points decision for Charlo on that one. I just don't see Derevyachenko nicking on the cards. I think a few people in the chat have said like Derevyachenko's he's like a patsy in there, isn't he? I mean, you know, I think he wants to win, but I just think that the gods are against him. Should we just say that? So, a lot of people think that he's going there to take a dive. I'm not sure he'll go there to take a dive. I'm just not sure he's going to be good enough on the night to get the win because I think he's going to have to dominate Charlo. I just don't think he can. All right, he looked good against Golovkin, but Golovkin was so fucking slow, man. I mean, he looked Derevyachenko looked like Sugar Ray Leonard in there. So look, this is where we are, man. I just think Charlo's youth, explosiveness, quite explosive.
Hey, Stu, your mic's fucking up. Stu, your mic's fucking up.
Derevyachenko's a good fight. He's that guy where he's like a gatekeeper to get to the top past Derevyachenko. And this is Charlo. Big night. If he shines, then got to reevaluate Charlo. He goes in there and struggles or gets it wrong. It's not good.
Hey, Stu.
So
your mic's fucking up.
I am strong.
Jamal's fighting Rosario.
Hadouken!
Stu, your mic is fucking up. It sounds pretty low, the volume.
Hello?
No, it's better. Go ahead.
Hang on a sec. Do you know what? I've got a phone call and he just won't stop phoning me.
That's why.
Let me pause this and...
Hang up.
I'm on the phone.
All right.
Fuck's sake, man. I hate that. You know when you're trying to talk to someone and someone just keeps ringing and ringing. Speak Your Mind, but Sue, send me a link in Discord. Who's Speak Your Mind Sports Talk then, Butch?
Who's what? Oh, that's D. Well, I sent him a link already, so.
Okay, well, you've got your link. Carlos Mendoza.
Unless it's a
D,
fake
I don't know who he's talking about. But yeah, I mean, the Charlo card, it's... Blues Boxer said Charlotte loses, in my opinion. I think he's on about Charlo, but it's a tough fight for both. I think Jamal will win a controversial decision, says Jay Perez. Yeah. I'd be surprised if both of them get a controversial decision.
Hey, we have a Revolucion on the line. I don't know if he's busy because he said he was going to work a lot this week. Go ahead.
Nope, I am out of work and free to talk.
So what happened to the 9 to 9?
About time you give us a bit of your time.
Wait, what happened to the 9 to 9? You were gonna do like 12 hours shifts or something, no?
That's Thursday.
Oh, okay.
And actually Tuesday too, technically.
Damn. Well, welcome back.
Are you going to watch the fight?
Welcome back. I'm sorry, what's that, Stu?
It's my show now, brother. No more singing and acting like a retard. It's boxing. Are you going to watch the? Are you going to watch the fights on Saturday, brother?
Yeah, for sure. I'll be out of work by then if I'm working. Yeah. My prediction
on them both?
This is actually, I think, a good opportunity for Charlo, because if he beats him, it's gonna kind of not solidify. What's the word? Authenticate, I guess, in a way. Yeah. That's not the word I was looking for either. But it's a really good name on his record because he's been short in a few performances. You know, who was it? Korobov. That whole deal. People weren't too impressed with that win. Could have gone either way. So I think he has a good chance. I don't think Derevyachenko has any chance of winning personally. If I had to bet money, it's like, yeah, I'm betting everything on Charlo.
Yeah, I think that's where I'm standing right now.
Really, it boils down. I mean, I could maybe picture him getting clipped, you know, in a super duper unexpected kind of knockout. You know, that's oh shit, Charlo's knocked out, like a big upset. But
do you see Derevyachenko doing that?
No.
Do you see Derevyachenko landing a big one on Charlo?
Exactly.
I just don't see that.
Well, his two losses, he was Danny Jacobs and Golovkin. Obviously, he's not going to drop Golovkin because he's got the fucking Easter Island head, you know, stone. And Danny Jacobs was probably he's a lot bigger than Charlo, right?
Yeah.
Even though they're the same weight class, he's like he puts on weight.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Danny
Who has he knocked out?
Who's in the chat here with us? Who's Coogan Gracias? We've got Gonzalo. What are you saying, brother? Gonzalo, are you there?
Hey, how's it going, brother Stu?
How you doing, my bro? What's your thoughts on this fight at the weekend? Well, the fights at the weekend. I mean, is it one that's whetting your appetite, or is it just another ball fest from the Charlos? How do you see that one going?
No, this is one of the greatest fights that I've been anticipating to see. Yes, of course. Derevyachenko versus Charlo. But the more I think about it, I think, you know, for a Ukrainian, Derevyachenko is kind of reckless. He gets hit a lot, as we saw, versus Triple G. And this is the old version of Triple G, who was connecting that whale when he threw his punches.
Yeah.
So he got tagged up. So I think, you know, he's going to get tagged up, and he might even get stopped.
Yeah, because one thing about Charlo, he throws bombs. He throws a lot of them as well. He gets a bit wild and is wide with his punches at times. But like I said, if you can't get out of the way of punches, Charlo's going to fucking land. That's for sure. And I think Charlo, like I said, I think he's going to hurt Derevyachenko in this fight. He's even going to drop him at times. I don't know if Derevyachenko's like that amateur pedigree that just might be enough to save him on the night from getting KO'd. But I just don't see Derevyachenko doing enough on the night. I'm gonna go for a Charlo points win, probably a wide decision for me.
Yeah,
D's in the house. D Jefferson, are you there, bro?
Yo, what's up, fellas? Hey, Stu. D Jefferson, speaking my sports talk. That's my channel, fam.
You're gonna have to send me a link to that because I don't really watch a lot of YouTube. I only like follow the boys that come on here. So if they've got like Johnny, I'll go on his channel, or Dell. I'll check his channel out. I usually just follow the guys that come on here. I don't really go on the other channels. So you're gonna have to get Butcher to send me a link, and I'll definitely check your channel out. So do you know what I mean? It's just my patience is running thin with the boxing community right now, D. Do you know what I mean?
Bro, I don't blame you. Some silly motherfuckers out there. That's why I got that "You Idiot" segment going on right now. There's a lot of idiots for me to keep up the content with.
Well, this is it. They're going to keep you in a job for life. These lot. I mean, that's for sure. They'll keep you in a job for life. But what's your opinion on this a very good card from Al Heyman. Let's look. It's £15 in the UK. I mean, that takes a bit of shine off it for me because that's not pay-per-view at 4 o'clock in the morning in the UK. Even in the UK, it's just not. So yeah, it took a bit of shine off it. But what's your opinion on the card? How do you see the fights going?
Well, I think it's a pretty decent card. I'm not paying for that shit. I tell you that. I'm go to somebody's house or watch it somehow. I'm not gonna pay that money for it. But I do think it's a good card, especially concerning coming from the PBC. And I heard you guys talking about Derevyachenko Charlo. I mean, it's a good fight. I think that's the best fight on the card as far as like most competitive fight. Because sorry about that, guys. I think Jamel Charlo, I think he's gonna stop Jason Rosario. I'm pretty confident with that. But Derevyachenko and Jamal, they can beat each other. I mean, I'm leaning toward Jamal, but I think they can. I think both of these guys can beat each other. So I like the card.
Yeah, can you guys hear me, by the way?
Yeah, I can.
That's cool. Yeah, it's good. Good. Yeah, it's having problems on this on Discord, but yeah, no, nice to talk to you guys, man.
Del boy, what's going on?
Yeah, man, I'm good, man. I'm looking forward to the fights this weekend.
Hell yeah! Hey, everybody, just announcing it is the official trivia champion in the room. By the way,
yes,
everybody, tip your hats in respect one time.
Yes, sir. But yeah, it's going to be a good weekend of boxing, man. Really is. I'm convinced. Jamel Charlo, yeah. Rosario, listen, Jamel Charlo, if it's a boxing match, he wins. If it's a street fight, he knocks Rosario clean out.
Oh, yeah.
The fight I'm intrigued about is Charlo Derevyachenko. To me, it depends on what Derevyachenko shows up. He's been taking beatings recently in the Jacobs fight, the Golovkin fight, the Kolkai fight. What's he got left? I mean, the guy gets hit a lot. Jamal is a sharpshooter with that straight right hand, lovely right uppercut. If Derevyachenko can get on the inside, Charlo's going to have kittens because Charlo can't fight on the inside. It's whether Charlo can keep him on the outside, keep behind that jab, keep at range. If he can do that and walk him into big shots, I think Charlo can win. I've got a funny feeling this fight's going to be controversial. Charlo's going to win, but it's going to be one of those decisions where a lot of people disagree with it. I can see Derevyachenko outworking Charlo up close, and Charlo gets the decision. That's how I see it playing out, to be honest.
That's how Derevyachenko's got to go about his business, Dale. I think he's just got to be very busy on the night. You've got to make it clear to the judge and everyone watching. I mean, then if he doesn't get the nod, we can all say, look, we saw it, you were robbed. But he's got to go in there and go for the victory. He can't go and try and pop shot his way to a points win against Charlo. He's going to walk into something, especially at mid-range. I mean, you say Charlo's not good in the pocket, maybe not in the pocket, but when he starts getting inside mid-range and starts throwing them bombs, he's very dangerous. And the problem with Derevyachenko, useless in defence for some reason. I mean, he's the only Ukrainian that can't defend himself properly. I mean, it's just, look, I believe what you said is true. Derevyachenko's been definitely taking a lot of shots lately. And I just think Charlo's at the right time of his career. Young lad still, isn't he? Fresh. Strong. I just don't see where Derevyachenko could get the win here. I really don't.
Yeah. Do you know what? I think this is the win Charlo really needs because he's got that belt. He's not really beat anybody for it. He needs a name to really kind of legitimize that belt, and I think Derevyachenko is that guy. To be honest.
Yeah, of course, it's make or break for Charlo. If he fouls in this time, then you forget it. Canelo's not going to want to even look at this fucking guy if he can't beat Derevyachenko. He has to look impressive. It's make or break for both Charlos. We're going to know what level they really are by Sunday morning.
Yeah.
That's the exciting thing. Wait, it's their revolution.
I'm sorry. I thought it was.
That's the exciting thing about this card because we're going to see what the Charlo is all about because we've heard a lot of things about him, especially from the LDBC, but we've never really seen him in there with some live guys, and the ones we did see him in there, they were both awful on the night. Let's just say that. So
the Korobov fight, man. Jamal stunk the joint out. People were telling me this guy's the next fucking Tommy Hearns. He was terrible, man. Awful.
God awful.
What do you think about? What if Charlo gets an early knockout though, and you think people will kind of doubt the win after that? Say, oh, Derevyachenko was already damaged and. Like, you know what I mean? I kind of think it almost has to be a little bit of a fight to legitimize Charlo. If he gets an easy win,
look, that's an impressive win. No matter what, if Charlo gets it done early, his fans can turn around and say, "Well, he did it a lot better fashion than Golovkin and Jacobs did."
True.
So yeah, so you've got that. You can't be going in there carrying a fight. You've got to go in. I say that every fight, go in there and try and get the job done as early as you can, because the longer you're in there, the more danger you're in. Do you know what I mean? So that's where I am. That's where I'm. Any fight that goes in there, I'll take this to the latter rounds, and the next minute they're fucking snoring on the canvas. I mean, get out of here. Go in there. I'm not saying they go in there, swing like a Turo Gatti and get chin checked. I'm saying fucking if you take the opportunity as soon as you can, because you can't let the judges step in and make decisions for you, because we've seen it in boxing over the years. Judges will end careers just by making a bad decision or taking backhanders. They end careers, mate.
Stu, man, you're spot on, man. I mean, even like Jamel Charlo against Tony Harrison, that first fight, he completely threw that away by being a lazy bastard. Like, he was looking for one perfect shot. Yeah. He never fucking put his foot on the gas and went for it, and he got beat for it. You know what I mean? A lot of these guys, particularly in like American boxing, even British boxing, a lot of these guys are lazy. Do you know what I mean? They're not willing to really go out on their shield, put it all on the line and go for a knockout. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, spot on, Dale. I mean, look.
I agree with that, Dale. No bullshit. They got to get in there and make it happen, man. That's why Jason Rosario, that's why I think he's going to get knocked out by Jamel Charlo, because he's going to go for it, but he's not as, he's going to come in there and get clipped like Lubin did, because the kid's kind of open. He leaves his hands down, and Jamel Charlo has pretty quick hands, good power, and good timing. He's going to clip Rosario.
I agree.
Yeah. Rosario's quite tidy. The thing with Jamal, he has a lot of lulls he does where he's doing absolutely nothing. With Jamal, I'm talking about. He does absolutely nothing, just strolling around the fucking ring, doing nothing. And I think Rosario, that's when he's got to be throwing his hands and making it look quite pretty on the judge's eye, because Charlo's the sort of guy that you could probably nick it on the cards with him, because there's so many times he's just doing nothing. And at least with Jamal's a bit more busier. He's going to be harder to beat on the cards. But Jamal for Jamal to win, I think he's going to have the stoppage. Because if he does get to the points, I think it'll be a controversial one. I think where everyone said, fucking Rosario was robbed. I think it could be one of them ones. So I think for Jamal, he's going to have to go in there, look pretty, look good like his brother has to. This is make or break for both Charlos, mate. Like I said, Sunday morning, we'll tell you where Charlo is. I'll know straight away, because this is the gatekeeper level that takes you to the top. There's no point jumping over the gatekeeper if you can't get past the gatekeeper. Do you know what I'm saying? So this is the perfect fight for both of them for me, and we'll see where we are Sunday.
I totally agree, man. Especially for Jamal, in my opinion, being at middleweight, where Golovkin is, Canelo's still knocking around. He needs to look good, man. You know what I mean? Yeah. He can't keep on treading water against the likes of Brandon Adams and God knows who else. He needs to knock this guy clean out. Let's be honest about it.
The problem the problem is you get stuck in gears, bro, when you start fighting these guys and you're just not, like I said, where Jamal was waiting for the perfect punch. It was like sparring in there. But before you know it, you're 2, 3 or 4 rounds down. You get stuck in again, and then when you have to up the gears, it's just not there on the night. You can't just go in a boxing ring and just turn it on like that. It doesn't happen. It's weird how the human body works, but it's like a tuned engine. And if there's certain things not right, you just can't. You're just not going to get the high performance out of yourself, and you get stuck in a gear, and before you know it, you're fucking struggling with someone. I've seen it with so many fighters where they're in there struggling with a guy that the level's above, because they've gone in there, took their eye off the ball. Thought they all had to do was land a shot and they're going to fall over and that's the night done. No, before you know it, it's the 10th, 11th round. They're in a dogfight, and this is what I mean. You've got to be prepared, and you've got to be at your best at all times, and that's a lot of these fighters don't. They're not like that. They're taking their eye off ball, talking about other guys before they've even got their opponents out of the way.
What you mentioned last time is important, Stu. Remember, you said that it's not good for two brothers to fight on the same night. Well, they cried. One did backstage and the other in the press conference.
I want to ask the panel this. D, what's your opinion? I know your opinion on this, but I want you to give me a little bit more, and then Dale, you can come in. I'm not sure who Kugan Gracias is. Who is this guy, Kugan Gracias?
That's me.
Oh, was that you, Del? Okay, right. Yeah, D, give us your thoughts on the brother situation fighting on the same night.
I think it's a mistake, and I'm actually working on a video about that. Like, could we get an opposite situation? Because remember, it was Jamel that lost and Jamal won. So could it be this time that Jamel wins and Jamal loses? But it could. I mean, I don't think it's wise for two twins like that to fight on the same card, because the first one fighting, if they lose, I just feel like that's going to affect the second guy in the ring.
I mean, this is the problem. I mean, is it because the Charlos are just not pay-per-view on their own? Maybe is it because you have to have them as a pair to put them on pay-per-view? That's probably where they are with them. But yeah, I mean, I wouldn't. Can you imagine? I mean, God forbid this happened. Can you imagine if, say, Jamal gets caught with a big shot and he's fucking oxygen mask out, rushed out into an ambulance, you know, and then Jamal's sitting there thinking, I'm going to fight in a minute. What the fuck? Where's my brother still alive? How is that good for preparation on a fight?
Yeah, you see your brother going by, and then, all right, Jamal, we're lining you up for the entrance.
Even if he wins, the pressure.
I mean, look, I don't mean to be morbid, but say if like Jamal does an Apollo Creed, starts shaking on the fucking canvas, Jamal's not going to be. He's not going to want to fight after seeing that, is he? You know what I mean? So.
Man, imagine you get a big cut on his eyes, bleeding all over the place. The canvas is bloody. Now he has to step in there, looking down at his own brother's blood. All right, we're getting morbid now. What's
your opinion on this, Del? Now I'll get to Gonzalo.
Yeah, pretty much the same as everybody else's, I guess. I mean, who's fighting first? Jamel? Is it Jamel?
I'm not sure, bro. I'm not sure. I should think it's usually Jamel that fights first, isn't it?
Yeah, whoever fights first, if they lose, then obviously, yeah, it's going to be it could pose a problem. I mean, we saw that in the last Charlo doubleheader when Tony Harrison beat Jamel. Jamel looked like shit. Honestly, he looked terrible. So, yeah, man, there's always that risk. There really is. But I guess if the first guy wins, then that's going to boost his brother, and he can perform better. So it's a double-edged sword, I guess. Could go either way. You know?
Yeah,
it's a risky take. Really
yeah, but I just think as a pair, you could get away with like a pay-per-view when it's a strong card. As a individual, I just Jamal Charlo, just pay-per-view. Who's buying that? Come on, man. But yeah, Gonzalo, what's your thoughts on this, brother?
There's gonna come a point in time where they're just gonna try and have to seek like their own identity, because how many times have we seen two brothers that are world champions? There's been a few instances where you have two brothers, but also like that boosts the chances of like one of these guys losing at one point in time, because when you go into a fight, there's a 50% chance that you're gonna lose. But when two brothers go to fight at the same night, you know, those odds get greater. So I mean, you have had the case where two brothers are world champions before, but how many cases have you had where the two brothers remain undefeated? Usually one guy's career takes off while the other guy doesn't. Who comes to mind? Rafael Marquez.
Matthew Hatton, Ricky Hatton.
Right. Rafael Marquez, freaking Juan Manuel Marquez. They were both world champions, but Rafael Marquez, I mean, he was more limited. And there's maybe more, you know.
Yeah, Gabby McDonald, Jamie McDonald, them sort of fighters. I know what you're saying. Like, there's always one better than the other, isn't there? But yeah,
that's great.
Nito Donaire and Glendon, yeah, man.
Yeah,
I think it's something that is just gonna.
I agree with Gonzalo. I mean, you never really saw the Klitschko's fighting on the same card, did you? There's a reason for that. I mean, the Klitschko's analyse everything in a fight. They don't just sign a contract. They fucking analyse everything. I mean, their preparation was second to none, and they would have known that it's not good for anyone to sit there and watch their brother in a war before you're about to get in the ring. Say if your brother gets hurt, how can you sit there and perform? This is not football. When Frank Lampard lost his mother and he scores a fucking a penalty against Liverpool and looks up to the stars. No, this is real life shit, man. You can get hurt in this sport, and your mind has to be in the game. And sitting there worrying if Jamal's going to come out of his coma or not, it's got to be probably the worst preparation you can have for a fight. So, I'm not saying that's going to happen. By the way, I don't think Rosario is going to do that to him. But you know what I'm saying? It's still never know in boxing.
Yeah. And what Gonzalo said about them finding their identity, you know, they have to find their own identities. I think that's going to happen just naturally, you know. the more fights I have, like let's say on this card, if Jamal has a big win and Jermell takes another loss, so to speak, just hypothetically, you're going to see him kind of split off, and I think Jamal will be a bigger sell, and he'll end up fighting on cards by himself, and Jermell will kind of fade out. But
you've got to start making. I agree with Gonzalo. You've got to start having your own identity. I mean,
it'll happen. It's just a story, I think, of their records too. Because it goes back and forth. Because people were saying, "Oh, Jamal, he hasn't really fought anybody. Jermell is the better of the two." It's interesting to watch this panel's opinion of the Charlos over the years, how it's kind of fluctuated from one to the other.
Hey, I don't think they're bad fighters, man. I don't. I think they're a lot better than some people make them out, but they're obviously not as good as some other people make out. It's one of them where that some people overrate them, and some people underrate them. I think they're both good fighters. Just never ever set the world alight for me. I think that when he knocked out Lubin, that was a great shot, and I enjoyed that. But they've never really set the world alight for me. Just haven't. And
me personally, I always thought that Jermell was the better boxer. Like I've never strayed from that. Like the whole time I thought Jamal was more powerful and a bit more athletic, but I always thought that Jermell was the better boxer. And this card right here, I just feel that Jamal's the guy that's in more danger of losing. I think Jermell has a pretty winnable fight. I think he should be more comfortable. It would probably be better for him to put Jermell on first because I think he has less of a chance to lose.
See, I think Rosario's a tough fight. I do. Stars make fights, and I just think Rosario's range and work rate and his toughness. It's Jamal's not going to start landing, and Rosario's going to, he's going to be. It's one of them where he's going to be in a tough battle. He's going to have to pick his shots, set up his shots. He can't just start wailing them shots and expect him to beat Rosario. I think he's quite crafty, Rosario. I think he's a lot better than people think he is. And if I was to choose one out of the two, like I said before, I think Jamel could be the one that comes. I don't know. I'm not sure if Jamel gets knocked out.
The best chin on him, man. I've seen him hurt a couple of times. I've seen him stopped by Nathan Gallimore, and none of these guys, guys that I've seen him hurt by, or even Nathan Gallimore, they're just not hitting like Jermell Charlo. They're not even as accurate as Jermell Charlo, and I just don't think that Rosario has to chin. The way he fights and the way he comes inside, I don't think he has the chin for Jermell Charlo, because that's not that shit he did with J-Rock. That shit's gonna get him slept with Jermell Charlo, fam.
I don't know. Like I said, I've seen Jamel in a few fights. He's been underwhelming for me. Just nothing special when I watch this kid fight. I keep hearing about all these boxing skills he has. Yet to show me them, he's just showing me the basics, the fundamentals that every fight should have in a boxing ring. Like I said, I've never been impressed with. I'm not saying I've never been impressed with. I just don't rate him as highly as other people. I think I prefer to watch Jamal fight. I suppose he's more my sort of fighter where he goes in and lets his hands go. But it's what you like, isn't it? Jamal, I think Jamal could do all right in that 154 division because he's quite poor at the moment. Because you'd fancy him to give Hurd and them guys a good fight, wouldn't you? But I don't know, if he went up to 160, I think cannon fodder.
Hello.
Damn, everybody went silent at once.
Got cut off. Yeah, sorry about that.
So
I'm afraid I don't know if I got a delay, so I don't want to speak over anybody.
Wow, this was a rare moment where everybody just shut up altogether.
What's going on?
I don't know.
I click on the YouTube and people are talking. But here on the Discord, they're not.
Wow, that was weird. Normally we're all talking over each other. Fuck. No, it's like silent. So,
Del, you still there, Del boy?
Yeah, man, I'm still here, bro. I
want to ask your opinion of the fight. I'm going to change this topic up for a bit. We'll get back to the Charlos. I just want to change it. This Kell, Brook, Terence Crawford thing's getting a bit steam. A lot of people on here don't want to see this fight. They think Kell Brook's finished goods.
I don't want to see this fight worth a fuck.
I do though. This is it. I do though, Del. I actually do want to see this fight because I think this is a much closer fight than people think. What's your opinion on this, bro?
You know what it is, yeah? I mean, if we're looking at it from Terence Crawford's situation, it's pretty much the best fight he can get right now. As for Kell Brook, I think if a prime Kell Brook, the straight punching of Kell Brook is always going to give Crawford problems because when Crawford like squares up and throws combos,
he throws wide shots.
Yeah, wide shots, and those straight shots are going to get there. If Kell Brook can rewind the clock for one more night, he's going to give Terence Crawford kittens. But the problem is the weight, mate. That's my issue with this, man. It's the weight. I'm not sure, man. It's got potential. Potential. Yeah.
I agree. I mean, the key to the fight is when Terence tries. Well, if Terence tries to switch into southpaw stance, what he loves to do, the lead right hand from Kell Brook is going to be the key. It's going to take Terence off his rhythm and stuff. It's just going to be a very hard night for Kell. But the straight punches are the key. The jab, and the straight right down the pipe. I mean, I totally agree with that. If he's on his game, Terence is in for a hell of a fight. I'm telling you, let's be real. Terence is very good, but Benavidez give him kittens, and I'll tell you what, Kell Brook's a lot better fighter than Benavidez. I can assure you that now.
What's this kittens?
That one-legged fucking that one-legged
Johnny boys in the house.
Ass ain't worth their shit.
Yeah.
So fucking if Kell Brook, if he's for real about it, like I think that was a good point Dell just made too. The weight drain would be, if anything, would be the concerning point for me. But from Crawford's point of view, he's just taking what he could get. So I agree.
Yo, what's this kittens? Give him kittens, get kittens. What's this?
Oh, for fuck's sake. Look, I'll give you an English lesson afterwards, right? Now we're talking. If you don't know what that means, giving kittens, it means, in other words, nightmares. Right? It's another word for nightmares. I mean, look, stylistically, Kell Brook is going to be a problem for Terence. Is whether Kell Brook has the tank and the fitness and the strength, because Terence is going to be coming all night, and that's the problem. Kell Brook's going to look pretty for the first 3 rounds, like he did against Errol. But Errol was like a train in the air. Just keep coming, and before you know it, he's Brook down the wall. If you cut it, with that, no pun intended, sort of thing. So this is where we are. If Kell Brook can stay fit at the weight, it's going to be a problem. If not, then Terence is going to go through him. But that's where we are. Who else do you want to see Terence in with? Fucking Broner or Tank? Not Tank. Who's the other one that wanted to fight? Mikey Garcia. I mean, no one wants to see that fucking shit. Kell Brook's a good fight for me. Well, I know, D, what's your opinion? Because I know you're not a keen one on this.
Bro, Kell Brook, man, I don't know. I'm not feeling everybody else with this Kell Brook situation. Kell Brook is done. The best fight, in my opinion, for Kell Brook is with that finished-ass Khan, because the both of them finished to me. I don't really see him being competitive. I mean, we got to think about it. Was it fucking 3 years ago? He drained down to fight Spence. Spence didn't really get much credit. He got some credit, but a lot of people say, it was a broken Kell Brook. He had to drain down to fight you. If that was 3 years ago, and Brook ain't really looked like he's been a rejuvenated fighter since then. He had to drain down 3 years ago. He's older now. What do you think he'll have to do now? Drain down again. This is against Bud Crawford. He's going to get the shit beat out of him as far as I'm concerned. I don't really see much intrigue in this fight.
The thing for me, real quick, Stu. Let me just say.
Go ahead, bro. Go ahead, man.
Oh, okay. I didn't want to interrupt you. That's all. But I mean, to me, it's not that much less appealing than Thurman. Thurman's been sitting on a fucking hill playing the flute for the last 3 years, so that's kind of the same kind of gig as far as I'm concerned. If we're talking between Brook and Thurman, it's almost the same fucking thing. I mean, neither one of them been very active. So, I mean, obviously, I'd much prefer Porter, Spencer, whoever, or Pacquiao, but whoever. But like fucking, I don't think it's that far off from him fighting Thurman. To be honest with you, like I say, Thurman's had 2 fights in the last 4 fucking years.
Yeah, but see, the thing with Thurman is, without the Pacquiao knockdown, what are we talking? Like, the fight might have been closer. The judge might have went the other side. That was a close fight. Pacquiao sealed the deal by getting that knockdown. So it was especially the second half of that fight, he showed competitiveness. Brook ain't gonna, man. I don't think Brook's gonna show us that kind of. And if he don't do anything,
he won't give. He
drain the fuck down, bro. Like he'll be gassed out by 6. I mean,
Terrence can be hurt. This guy's not indestructible. He's not. He can be hurt and he can be beat. I've seen flaws in Terrence. Yes, he's a world-class fighter in my pound-for-pound list. Yes, he is. Every fighter has flaws. I've seen things in Terrence Crawford that can be exploited. Seen other fighters do it, just not good enough on the night to get the win. But like I said, I don't know, man. If Kell Brook's up on his game, he's fit, I'll give him a big chance, man. Terrence is a very good fighter, but Terrence is there to be beat. I'm telling you. He's there to be beat. That's
agree,
why
man.
I picked Errol Spence to beat him. I think Errol will beat Terrence.
I agree again. I mean, Kavalauskas is a one-paced fighter, yeah? A hard jab, hard straight right hand, that's it. There's no variation, there's no feints, there's no level changes, it's one-paced. And he was tagging Terrence with ease, man. And he dropped him, didn't get counted. If somebody like that can give Terrence all those problems, and the guy, like Stu said, he's not this unbeatable force who's like fucking Pernell Whitaker.
Yo, Del, I swear to God, these dudes be acting like Crawford's fucking Ray Leonard 2.0 or some shit. He ain't that, dog. He's a good fighter, but he ain't that. And as far as like back to Thurman, I mean, I thought Pacquiao 8-4'd him plus the knockdown. I didn't think it was close. I thought it was 8-4. But fucking what's it called? But yeah, dude, like I say, I'm not saying one's better than the other with like, because those were the two names that kept popping up was Thurman and Brook. But like, I think they're in the same ballpark. Neither one of them are active. They've both seen better days. Like, to me, that's along the same accord. That's all I was getting at.
I agree with that, but in their respective weight classes, like, I hear you. The thing with Brook is that they're both two depleted fighters, but now you're talking about a depleted fighter that also has to drain down. And I'm not these Crawford fans. I'm not even a Crawford fan. I'm a Spence fan. I like Bud, but I'm not a fan. And my thing was just simply like with Terrence Crawford, man, and Kell Brook. Like, bro, if he's draining that, like, I agree with you, Stu, and you, Del. He can be beat. I don't see him as being invincible or nothing. But Kell Brook ain't the fucking guy that's going to do it. Not a drained Kell Brook. He ain't the one that's going to beat him.
Yeah, look, but the thing is, you say that, but a one-legged fucking Mexican Forrest Gump in Benavides was giving him all sorts of fucking nightmares.
Bro, that Benavides was better than Brook is now at 147.
Come on, no, I don't know, man. Come on, man. I don't think he is.
At 147, Stu, Brook was drained 3 years ago, Stu. And he's older. Like, you think Brook can easily make 147? A broken fighter coming down at 147.
Let's just go with the fact that he does turn up on the night and he makes the weight. Let's just go because if we're gonna start putting the weight why fights can't happen, then we're just going to talk about nothing. Let's pretend that Kell Brook comes in the shade. He's 147. I want to hear about. Obviously, you think Terrence is going to walk through Brook. I don't see that. Like
if he turns up on the night,
Del said earlier what I've been saying for a very long time. Terrence Crawford stays around too long. He throws too many shots. He hangs around too long. He's there to be countered. He comes square on. He throws wide shots. He gets desperate at times, and he starts swinging bombs, wide shot. That's when you can take him. But look, it's easier said than done. I know that. But is Kell Brook any worse than Amir Khan that night?
No. If he turns up on the night, he gives them fits because I mean, even in his losses, Kell Brook was competitive, and you could even say that he might have been winning that fight against Errol Spence until like maybe the second to the last round before the fight ended. And in the Golovkin fight, he was fighting out of his element. But in that fourth round, he was really piecing up Golovkin. So I'm not saying that it only takes one round to win one fight. But if he can give us that moment where he goes balls out and he tries, he's gonna test Crawford.
Them shots land on Crawford, mate. Different kettle of fish than what's happening when Golovkin was swallowing up like Pac-Man.
Them
shots are gonna hurt Crawford. Big shots, mate. crisp, accurate shots. If he can, and that's what I like about Kell Brook. On the eye, very nice to see when he's throwing punches. It's very nice. And the thing with Terence, what he, like I said earlier, he will jump in a range and let his hands go and just hang around too many. Instead of doing 2s and 3s and getting out there, he's hanging around doing 4s and 5s, and that's when you can catch him with a counter shot. And I've seen it happen where he's getting caught and he's getting timed and he's getting caught. And this is.
I want to use Stu's scenario real quickly. Hi, Gonzalo, by the way. How you doing, amigo? But,
hey, how you doing, John?
I want to use Stu's scenario for a second. Just like Stu said, let's just say he does make the weight comfortably and he does show up on the night. Oh, yeah. Crawford's going to be in for a fucking tough night at the office, my friend. Win, lose, or draw. He's going to have a rough night on his hands.
Yeah, I see a little bit of Manny Pacquiao and Kell Brook because he punches off the fly. Don't fucking. Yep.
No, I see what you mean, Gonzalo. I see what you mean.
Yeah, for me, it's like a bit of a wild card. I've got no idea what Kell Brook has left. All I'm saying is, if the guy has 80% left of what he had, he's going to give Crawford problems, man. Stylistically, in my opinion, he's got a lot of tools that are going to trouble Terence. I wonder how Terence would take that sort of power from a real welterweight. I mean, he got hurt by Kavalauskas. I know people don't like to admit it. He got hurt.
He did.
I mean, I'm not sure how good Terence's punch resistance is at 147. We've not really seen it, you know.
Because Kavalauskas, his punch resistance was dreadful. It really was. I mean, you know, so this way, Kell Brook holds a better shot than fucking Kavalauskas. So it's going to be a tougher fight for him either way.
Exactly, man. And one thing you mentioned earlier, I think it was in regards to the Charlos. He was talking about fighters that, you know, when they fight like a low level of competition for a while and they get stagnant. They get stagnant. Terence has been fighting a low level of competition for a while now.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
This is the thing. You've got to look. You've got to take all these things into account when you're predicting a fight. That's what I do. Some people just think, "Oh, well, Terence is busy. Kell Brook's not. Terence will make weight. Kell Brook won't. Terence by knockout." This is a bit more than that. You know, you got to look into. Look, Terence has been stuck in a little gear for a while. Look how embarrassed he was with his performance against Amir Khan. Very angry with himself. Look, he was like disheartened by his performance. Go and watch his interviews. He knew it was a terrible performance on the night. It's because we just got stuck in there. Amir Khan didn't even come to the fight, so he had nothing to get him up for it. He just strolled forward like some robot and got the job done. I mean, that's not what Terence is about. Terence is about, you know, rhythm in his punches, you know, movement and fucking smart. He's a smart fighter, Terence Crawford, but he just gets dragged into wars. And look, this is what happens if you're not fighting. If you ain't fighting the best, you sort of like bring you down to their level. That's what journeymen do and crafty old fighters do. They've been around the block. They know that their days at the top are over. So what they'll do, they'll try and make it awkward and try and hang around so they get another payday. And that's when you're fighting a guy that's out there to survive. Very hard to win. Get the stoppage, I can assure you. So you know, this is when you fight them sort of guys, you want a guy who's going to come onto you who thinks he can win. And that's when you get the best out yourself.
I totally agree.
It's kind of funny how, like, in the Khan fight, like Amir Khan had some moments on him too, little tiny quick moments, and then all of a sudden he just I got hit in the dick, I'm done. So like, not only did he get a few over on him, but he didn't even give Crawford like a good victory. You know, like I watched that with my friend. I watched that with my friend, and that was his first time seeing Terence Crawford, and he was like, whatever. Amir
Khan's probably the biggest con man in boxing right now. I hate seeing the guy on my screen.
The con
he needs to go away. He is the boxing coronavirus, isn't he? You just see you can kill him.
Stu, don't you just want to choke the fuck out of that little prick?
I'll tell you what I want to do. You know when my Dan Henderson dropped Bisping and then flew the flying elbow on him after that? That's what I want to do. That's what I want to do with Amir Khan. But yeah, talking of douchebags, Devin Haney, he's fighting Gamboa. I mean, what a fight! Worthless. On DAZN, November the 7th. Del Boy, I know you're keen on this one.
I'm sorry, but that is absolutely disgraceful. First and foremost, yeah, my man Devin Haney, he's an email champion. He's a WBC champion. He's got a belt, yeah. He needs to fight a top 15 contender. Last time I checked, fucking Yuriorkis Gamboa wasn't fucking ranked. 39 years old, one leg. What's he done recently? Nothing. He quit against a fucking journeyman in Castellanos years ago. That is absolutely disgraceful, man. Eddie Hearn is a fucking...
I told you, mate. Hearn, all these people that fucking bums up Eddie Hearn, man. You're not boxing fans. Because if you're a boxing fan, you'll be everything. You'll be against everything that Eddie Hearn's doing right now. Listen, in the early days when he was trying to build himself up and building the brand, he did a good job. Now he's got too big for his boots, and he's got no confidence and all these talent. I mean, let's be real. He told us Devin Haney was the next Floyd Mayweather for about 3-4 months. I just got sick of hearing it. He has one fight on an undercard of some fucking YouTuber. He was absolutely dreadful on the. It was absolutely dreadful on the night. And we've not heard a fucking thing since. And this is the confidence he has in Haney right now. He sticks him in with the Cuban Kevin Johnson. I mean, that's what he's become. He's the Cuban Kevin Johnson.
I'm disgusted by that.
Check this out real quick, bro. I'm not going to totally trash the dude because his pops was talking to me on Punch's stream the other night, and he knows I've been talking a lot of shit. So he was respectful. He kept it respectful with me because he could have just came out and be like, "Punk, don't talk about my son." But he was cool. So I'm not going to totally trash him like I would Braun or Mikey Garcia or something like that. But I will say this. That's a horrible, terrible fight. Johnny. And Stu, real quick, though, boy. And Stu, and this is what I've been saying. These dudes that just want to slob on Eddie Hearn and fucking Anthony Joshua all day drive me nuts. They're literally just as bad as the LDBC. Yeah. Stu, it's the two. It's just the opposite side of the same fucking coin with Wilder and the PBC. What's that?
Of course it is. You're 100% spot on, Johnny. You're 100% spot on, bro. That's all it. Let's not pretend that Eddie Hearn's a saviour of boxing. I've been waiting for this guy to put on a decent card for ages. It's a bit like what it's starting to fossilise waiting for the guy. Come on, man, when is he going to look at this fucking trash card?
Bro, my fucking dead nan's got more life in her than Gamboa. Absolutely disgraceful. I mean, fuck me, man. Yeah,
Gamboa. Look, I've always said whatever a Cuban says his age is, put 10 years onto that, and you're close. And that's where we are with this guy. This guy is as fucking old as they get, and this Devin Haney, the next Floyd Mayweather, according to Eddie Hearn. I don't know what fucking planet Hearn's on, but he
the next motherfucking Tank Davis because he ain't going to do a goddamn thing and hold on to a belt, fight little small guys coming up like Gary Russell or old guys out the door like Gamboa. It's a reincarnation of Tank Davis. And guess who's backing him? The motherfucking LDBC. See, they tried to validate the fight with Gary Russell Jr. And I'll bet you any money they'll try to validate this fight with Yuriorkis Gamboa because they try to validate the fight for Tank Davis. It's all the same bullshit. Another Tank Davis in the making.
Yeah. And I think with Eddie Hearn as well.
Validate Tank Davis versus Hugo Ruiz. So that just shows you how low they reach. Yeah. Fuck out of here.
Yeah. The thing about Eddie as well, I'm reading here, he says that Hearn... Dillian White's career will be terminal if he loses to Povetkin on November the 21st. I'll translate that in the Queen's English for you. That means if Dillian White loses this one, I'm leaving him. He's going to have to find somewhere else to go. That's basically it.
I read that this morning myself, Stu.
Look, Dillian White, he hasn't done it. All right. I suppose he has done a good job with Dillian White because he made him millions of dollars and the guy's very limited with skills. But the guy comes to fight and he's a promoter's dream, isn't he? This Dillian White, he talks well, he fight any man, and his fights are exciting. Then someone ends up sleeping either way. That's what you want. So yeah, he's always going to do well in the UK. But the thing with Eddie Hearn, mate, like I said, I think he's at the stage now where he's going to start wheeling out the guys he don't really want anymore because he's got so many fighters, so many world-class fighters now. Dillian White is not his priority right now, especially after a devastating loss to Povetkin. How does he build Dillian White up again? And then there's talk of Usyk as well. He's probably going to move on to Usyk and try and build Usyk up for Joshua. But Dillian White, if he doesn't pull this off against Povetkin, then his career's done with Eddie Hearn. That's what I think.
Yeah, man, it's a quick turnaround, isn't it? Very quick turnaround. Yeah. I mean,
how do you see that going down?
You know what, mate? That quick turnaround has really got me fucking thinking because he only got a 28-day medical suspension for that. A lot of fighters would have got a lot longer. It makes me wonder, if certain people have actually put in a word with like the British Boxing Board of Control to get that suspension reduced in order to get this rematch done quicker. I think that's a very quick turnaround, mate. So coming off that brutal knockout, I think it's very risky, to be honest with you. I don't know, man. I'm not sure right now. I'm really not sure.
I think Povetkin's going to crank his ass again, Del. Yeah, I think this is what I do. This is like I said. This is what I call the Sonny Corleone. He's rushing to the problem, not taking his time like he should be. You understand?
Yo, I totally agree, mate.
Yeah, but I see what Johnny's saying, though. But the thing is, I saw enough from Dillian White that night that a couple of adjustments and he could get the job done. So let's not pretend Povetkin weren't flagging out there. He's probably a round away from being stopped, pulled out of there. He was getting beat up, and he pulled at a world-class uppercut. Look. You never get bit by the same dog twice, to say. So Dillian White, he might be looking at it like, well, I'm not going to fucking get hit with that uppercut again. They might work on that. Small adjustments, that's all you need. Because Dillian White weren't like Wilder when he went in there, just got destroyed for every second of every round. He was actually winning the fight and dominating and knocking this guy down. He just got caught with a massive shot. It reminded me a bit like when Harold Bomber Graham was dominating Julian Jackson. And before you know it, he's asleep on the canvas snoring. Jackson's landed one of his bombs, isn't he? It was one of them sort of things. So it happens in boxing.
Is that actually recognized the Matrix? It's not this fake ass one.
No, there's some sick bastard pretending to be a missing person. I mean, I just don't think that.
Okay. All right.
What are you guys talking about, man?
Hey, what's up, bro?
What is that Matrix? Recognize that? Recognize?
Yeah.
Recognize, but I was worried about you, brother. Listen,
yeah, we was all
worried about you. We fought. Hey, hang on a sec. We fought. Recognize. We actually fought.
Every time I watch the local news, they're always talking about, well, there was a stabbing here, there was a stabbing there, there was a shooting there. What the?
He's playing. He's recording. Who's this? What's going on here, man? What's going on? That better not be someone pretending to be recognized.
I think that's the real recognized, man.
Did you guys think I died or something?
Yeah, man. I kept trying to reach out at you, and I didn't hear an answer. I was like, all right, something must have happened.
Yeah,
it's my spirit. I'm in the afterlife. I'm speaking to you.
You know what? I'm really happy. Because Recognize. I was thinking about Recognize earlier, and I honestly thought something bad had happened to him because just didn't like a guy to just disappear, and no one could get hold of him. I thought something bad had happened. I thought he'd been caught. I thought he got caught with his CDs or something, or the coronavirus that got him.
Recognize. We thought you was in the QB and had a transaction go wrong, bro. That's what
you thought my old enemies came to get me, right?
Yeah. So I brought it up.
I knew he was all right.
They said 20 years later, let's still get this motherfucker.
Yeah, I knew you were all right, man.
Hey, man, Recognize. So was that really you then in the chat, or?
Yeah, of course.
Oh, shit. I think somebody banned you. Man, I was working.
Recognize. Hold on. Real quickly, BDA. Were you on my chat last night, Recognize?
Yeah, bro. I gave you
Oh, that was you? I thought it was a fake one. Oh, I'm going to have to... Damn, I thought it was a fake one. These motherfuckers got fakes account of me, all kind. Yeah, so I thought it was... I was like, oh, that ain't him.
Jesus.
Damn, all right.
Dude, the motherfucker.
Now that boxing is back, recognizes back. He ain't like one of them silly fools that's sticking around and talking when there's nothing to talk about,
Dude,
you know what it was, man? I got busy. I had to do a lot of moving around. So I said, you know what? Let me just turn off my social media. But I didn't mean to turn it off that long. It just like ended up, turning out to be longer. And I was like, man, fuck this, man. I'm chilling. I got to see what's going on YouTube. I've heard, of course, I heard the news that Lomachenko is going to be fighting, what's his name? Teofimo. So I was like, yeah, there's some shit to talk about, man. Let me get back up. Let me get back in the mix.
Wait, are you one of the people that's leaving New York? Is that what's going on?
Well, I don't want to start no thing, So
I got you.
I don't want to start no things.
Recognize you need to get the hell out of New York. Go and live in Texas or somewhere like that.
Yo, Texas is nice. Yeah, I mean, I might take the second best thing.
Get the hell out of that left wing hellhole. It's like London, man. The only way down, the only way them places going is down. So get out there, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Unfortunately,
but we're talking about obviously with the Charlos this week. The Charlos this weekend, recognized. What's your opinion on them fights, bro? Have you checked them?
Okay, so you got Big Charlo. He's fighting Derevyachenko.
That's right.
Jamal versus Rosario. Jamel. So, man, those are good fights. To me, they're really good fights. I think I'm gonna go with the big guy, the middleweight, to win. I think he'll earn this win. I think he's gonna really come for this fight. Derevyachenko's sort of like, he's one of those guys that he's really competitive, and sometimes he looks like he could have won the fight, but he's not gonna get the edge, right? Like that's not gonna happen. He did it with Danny Jacobs and Triple G. Both fights that I thought he could, I personally thought he lost, but he also could have won those fights. I think Charlo probably beats him in that fashion where he drops him, but the rounds are pretty even, and that'll be the difference. The fight that I really like is Rosario versus
I like that fight.
Charlo. That's the fight I like. Because I like the junior middleweight Charlo over the middleweight. I always did.
Yeah, but Dean said the same. He preferred Jamel to Jamal. I prefer Jamal. What about you? Del Boy? Which one's your favourite? What did it say?
To be honest, I prefer Jamel. I think he's given me more as a fan. Do you know what I mean? Like the Harrison fights for Lubin knockout, Martirosyan, Trout. He's just given me more, to be honest. I think Jamel as well. He's got Jamel. To me, Jamel, he's got proper dog in him as well. That rematch with Harrison, Harrison brought out the dog, and he fucking knocked him clean out. That was a beautiful fight. A great fight.
Jamel, he fought that fight with pure anger, didn't he?
Yeah,
I just think that could be his downfall in the long run. I think when he's going to come up against a guy, and going in the ring angry is the worst thing you can do when you're fighting a skilled technician. Do you know what I mean? So that's where I am. Gonzalo, you've been quiet, brother. Who's your favourite Charlo, brother?
It's still on the table. We'll see. I mean, the Tony Harrison fights were good, but he definitely showed some vulnerabilities. And this is a totally different style. I mean, this guy, well, actually, I don't know about punch resistance, but I mean, this guy definitely punches harder than Harrison. And the other guy, he showed lapses, but he was still able to hurt Korobov late in that fight. And it could have gone the other way. So it's still on the table for me. We'll see. Yeah. I like the second fight better as far as matchup, though.
Yeah. What about you, BDA? What about BDA? Hang on a minute, D. Just 1 second. I want to get BDA in while he's on the line. And then I'll go to you, D. Go ahead, BDA.
Wait, what happened?
What's your favorite Charlo, brother?
Oh, sorry, it's because
who's your favorite Charlo, brother? Shall I say?
I'm busy right now. I'm just listening, and Butch is the one that's. But get D's opinion on that because I wanna.
Okay, all right. But BDA's not coming back. So D, go ahead, brother. Go ahead, D.
Oh yeah, I was just saying I don't really agree that Banana hits harder than Tony Harrison. I don't really think we have anything to say. I don't think
man's tongue didn't come through customs.
Go ahead, D.
Oh, y'all couldn't hear me? Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, I heard you. Have you just? I thought, is that it then? You got nothing more?
Yeah, that was it. That's all I was gonna say. I just don't. I haven't Banana ain't giving me nothing to say that he hits harder than Harrison.
Yeah. I didn't rate Harrison. I just didn't. Yeah. I mean, I think his performance against the win he got over Charlo, I think was just it was a bit of a flash in the pan performance. I think what me and Del said earlier about Charlo being stuck in a gear, fighting cannon fodder, and then when he actually came up against a live dog, just couldn't skip through the gears. Just wasn't there on the night. I think that was Charlo's problem there. But I think the loss could have been the best thing that happened for him because he come back like a fucking wounded animal, didn't he? And he was very good that night. So go ahead, Johnny.
You know who my favorite Charlo is? Neither of them. I hope they both get their fucking ass beat. I hope Rosario beats the shit out of him, and I hope Derevyachenko beats the shit out of the other one, and then they can go fucking cry in their mansions about the cops fucking with them, even though they've never been arrested before.
I know styles make fights, but just something to think about. Fucking Jason Rosario went 12 rounds with Jorge Cota. Jamel Charlo ran through that fucker.
Yeah, do you know what, D? I was about to say, I think Jamel's going to look like $1 million. I really do. It's going to be a statement. Genuinely, I think he's going to look great. As far as I'm concerned, yeah, Jamel knocks fucking Rosario out in a street fight and he boxes him in a boxing match. Jamel's going to win this fight either way, to be honest.
I think you're underrating Rosario, man. I think you're underrating the guy. Good guy, man.
I can't hear I can't hear D talking. Is it just me?
I wasn't saying anything.
Because I can't hear D.
I can hear D. I can hear.
Here, let me drop out and jump back in, then.
Yo, Del, if Charlo wins, how many belts does he garner? 3?
Yeah, so he's got the WBC, IBF. I think it's for they have 3. Yeah,
Texera will have the matchup.
Texera, so he'll be one fight away from being undisputed. Wow.
Yeah.
And that guy's a PBC fighter, Texera, Patrick, or is
Texera is not a PBC fighter, but Texera is fighting Castano, who's a PBC fighter. So if Castano beats Texera, then yeah, we could get an undisputed fight at 154. Fingers crossed.
Yeah, because I know Erickson Lubin's looking for a rematch, but I'm not looking to watch. I'm not looking to watch no rematch of a guy that fucking lasted about 50 seconds in there. And let's be real, it weren't even a big shot that landed. It was a good shot from Charlo. It wasn't a massive shot, and he fucking fell over in the next minute. I thought he was going to get up in a minute, and he just didn't get up. He was really badly hurt from a shot like that, man. Come on.
No real fan wants to see that shit. Like I said, you know what the whole point of a rematch is if the fight prior was competitive.
Exactly.
Getting blown out in 30 seconds isn't a competitive fight, dog. And fucking, what's it called? I think Castano will beat the shit out of Texera, to be honest with you.
So do I. Yeah.
Yeah.
Erickson Lubin's chin is made out of like the finest paper mache.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I see what I've seen stronger candy floss. To be honest with you, I mean, this guy. You touch him on the chin, he's Sammy Davis Jr., isn't he? Do you know what I mean?
Are we talking about the third that got knocked out by Stevenson?
No,
I tell you what, Lubin's a good. He's good going forward though. He's quite a good little fighter. He's got an aggressive little side to him, and he's quite good on the eye to watch. He is. He's technically quite good, Erickson Lubin. Unfortunately, he gets brushed on the head, and we know what happens next. So
I'm not looking stopped by Charlo, right?
Yeah, but it's only guy who's fucking fought. Do you know what I mean? So look, that's where we are with Lubin. Right? Lubin's nowhere near ready. Let's be real. Nowhere fucking near.
No, I don't think he's ready for like even the rematch with Charlo. But I was just gonna say, damn, he only gets stopped by Charlo, and now his chin is no good. Like,
D.
Yeah,
apparently he got buzzed this weekend as well. He got hurt again. Apparently,
he's got a tendency of dropping his hands, especially his left. Al Bernstein was alluding to that night.
The thing with chins, right? You can have a real bad chin, but you still got to be a world-class fighter to exploit the chin. What do you think Amir Khan? He gets all these wins against guys. They're just not good enough to exploit it. He gets in there with a world-class puncher. The rest is history. We all know what happens. So this is where, when you get to the top level of boxing, they're not going to fall over. Even the guys with the bad chins, you've got to set your punches up and hit these guys when they're not looking and hit with big shots. You can't just... That's what I'm saying. Boxing's, they say it's a science. I suppose it is. But you know what I mean? Just because the guy's got... I always use this analogy when fucking Junior Jones beat Marco Antonio Barrera twice. Now, anyone that knew Junior Jones, his chin was as bad as Erickson Lubin's. Yeah, Marco Antonio Barrera, a monster puncher, a Mexican pitbull going for everyone, lost to this guy twice. Barrera couldn't hit him on the chin, couldn't catch him clean. So it doesn't matter if you got to hit the fucking guy, and that was Barrera's problem. These guys are still dangerous. So a lot of guys, they'll see a fight, go, oh well, that's a one-sided mismatch. He's got a bad chin, but chins do not win your fights.
And that's why it going into that first. I remember this from when I was a kid. Yeah. Going into that first Morales fight, they were like, Morales will beat him easy. Barrera's done. Barrera's, because Junior Jones had beat him twice. So they were like, they were thinking he was on his way out the door. And then it turned out to be one of the best fights of all fucking time. You know what I mean? So,
yeah. So this is the thing, that was probably the biggest shock in a long time, that was, because I was expecting Barrera just to clip him and that'd be it. But it just showed Junior Jones is a very talented fighter. You still got to have the talent to get out of the way of the punches, isn't you? And he had that. The problem is when he did get clipped, he was badly hurt. And I just expected Barrera to go through this guy like a steam train, and couldn't believe it. And he won both fights.
Remember Terry Norris, Stuart?
Yeah, of course I remember Terry Norris. Yeah, of course I remember Terry Norris.
Yeah, he was always dangerous. Although he had a shaky chin, he was very dangerous.
Julian Jackson's the same. Julian Jackson had a shaky chin. He's a dangerous guy.
Let me ask you something, then. Okay, so if you think that Lubin's chin is shaky, how about Jorge Cota? Because he's been knocked out multiple times. So would you say he has a shaky chin?
Well, yeah, if he's been knocked out multiple times, that tells me he has, yeah. It's not rocket science.
That's what I'm saying about Jason Rosario, for whoever says he got all this power. That motherfucker went the distance with Jorge Cota, who has a ridiculous.
Yeah, but you're just missing the point that I just said. So you've got to hit these people clean to get the stop. Even with the people with a bad chin, when you get to the world level, these guys are not just going to fall over, even though they've got bad chins. You got to. It's like Wilder. We've always known Deontay Wilder's got a bad chin, but how long have we been waiting for someone to clip it? You know what I mean? So.
Okay,
Coda's a fucking bomb.
So if he can't clip a Cota, well then what makes us think that he's gonna clip Jermell Charlo?
Well, because they're different guys, different fights, different nights. You can't. This is what I'm saying. I know what you're saying, and that's the sensible way of doing things when you're betting. So if you got to look at it like what you just said, but there's more to it than that. Do you know what I mean? There's more to it than that.
I understand there's more to it than that. I'm just saying, bro. Like, okay, so. I get all of you guys' analogies. I get where y'all coming from, but we saying, okay, you got to be able to catch the fighter. So this is a fighter with a weak chin that he couldn't catch because he went to beat up with him. Jamal Charlo fucking ran through him, and now we're saying that Rosario's power is probably enough to hurt a guy like Jamal Charlo. Like, I'm just not getting it.
L-Dog in the chat says, L-Dog says in the chat that having a chin is the most important thing in boxing. Yeah, it is, but having a chin will keep you in fights, but it's not going to win your fights. You don't win fights sticking your chin in the air.
Having a chin in boxing is all about, like, when you get caught with a shot that you don't just totally break down. That's it. Because look, I mean, we're human beings. Sometimes the shape of our head helps us, the shape of our jaw, all that stuff kind of plays into it. But it's also a mentality too. When you get hit with a good shot, that you don't totally break down, because the guy that usually does, he loses all his marbles and he's like fucking all over the place. He can't defend himself. There's a difference between the guy that he gets hurt too. It's just that he's able to keep his
composure,
his faculties. Yeah, he's able to keep his faculties and say, you know what? I just got hit with a hard shot. Let me not.
It's about getting your legs back together as well, Recognize. You've only got to see how long Joshua took to get his legs back against Ruiz and Klitschko. That shows me the chin's dodgy. A bit like Amir Khan. When he got hurt by Madonna, it just felt like, or then Danny Garcia, it just felt like forever this guy was doing the chicken dance. It just kept going and going on and on. And it was like a chicken marathon run, weren't it?
Interesting you bring up Joshua. It's interesting you bring up Joshua as well, and like the psychology of like having a chin, like Recognize was saying. In the Ruiz rematch, you could see that Joshua, he had no faith in his chin, man. He was extremely panicky every time Ruiz got close. He was shook in that fight. That wasn't impressive to me. I saw a guy who was going through a lot of mental demons. I saw the signs, man. The guy was there for the taking that night. Ruiz must be kicking himself for not training, because he was there for the taking.
He was totally there. Look, mentally shot to pieces fighter in there. I mean, everyone keeps, what a performance by Joshua on the back foot. Look, he didn't do nothing special. It's just that Ruiz was a slob in there. Just keep it close to the guy.
Here's the,
I don't think Ruiz can kick him.
Hold on, Revolution.
It's snippy with me.
Fucking, huh?
I said,
go
don't
ahead,
get
Johnny.
snippy with me.
Just go ahead, Johnny. Go on.
Cocksucker. Anyways, well, here, I'll say this real quick. See, Revolution's always throwing me off my mind. But anyways, whatever Andy Ruiz was throwing at AJ, he didn't like it, bro. That's why he fought the way he did.
Couldn't see his punches coming.
But even that night, he was millimeters away of landing big shots on Joshua. When he got inside the pocket and started letting his hands go, all right. It weren't very often he was doing that, but when he was skimming Joshua, and there was moments where Joshua was just getting out of the way of these shots. I mean, it just looked a nervous wreck in there for me. Nothing fills me with confidence watching Joshua fight right now. I mean, I just every time I see him, I think he's a KO waiting to happen.
You know,
that's how bad it's
a
got.
guy that fucked you out, man. There's a mental game that goes into a let's say a rematch. When the guy you're up against is the last fight, he beat you up, he knocked you out, he dropped you. Fighting those type of guys again, it is a mental challenge, and you could see, like Del Boy said, that was on AJ's mind. I think what happened, you see, AJ is a smart fighter, meaning that he's not going to exchange unless he can see you doing what you're doing, or he just knows that his punches are going to get there first and they're going to hit harder. For him to fight like that, to me, told me he can't locate when Ruiz starts letting off his combinations. He can't locate those punches, and he's like, I don't want to get caught with that shit again.
No, just too quick for him. Too quick for him. Joshua's very robotic defensively, very robotic, and he falls for feints and he reacts too quick. I mean, you only got to see when he got dropped by Klitschko. Klitschko just threw a throwaway. Like a throwaway left hook, and then Joshua blinked, expecting the left hook to come in. The second he opened his eyes, his right hand coming right down the pipe, fucking nearly took his head off. I mean, just reacts wrong. There's no rhythm in his defense work. It's just all a bit fucking. What's the painful to watch at times, if you get what I'm saying. I think he's there for the taking.
But you notice
I think physically he's all right. Physically he's good. And look, when he's throwing shots, he's dangerous. I'm not saying this guy is cannon fodder. He's not. He could beat anyone on the day. It's just my problem is when he's receiving punches, he just doesn't react properly for me.
You saw the way he was able to come back from getting knocked down by Klitschko and still fight back. That's because even though Klitschko is a great fighter and he hits hard, I think because they're more or less the same height and, same reach and everything, he can see those punches coming. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. He can see those punches coming. So when you have a feel of what that guy's doing and you can see it, you're still willing to fight back even if he hurts you, so. Yeah, he's an interesting person, AJ.
Yeah, because it says here in the boxing news that Tyson Fury has told Joshua to stay away from Usyk. I'm going to go through the panel. Obviously, this is a fight that could happen. So I want to go through the panel and ask their opinions on this fight because there's not a lot to talk about. So we're going to try and get what we can. We'll start with. He's been quite Del Boy. We'll start with you. Go ahead, Gonzalo.
But Usyk Joshua?
Yeah.
Yep.
I would say that Joshua got the power, definitely. He's a knockout puncher, and he's also an improved boxer. And Usyk is the smaller guy who is prone to injury, especially now that he's bulking up and he's been real inactive. I would actually favor Joshua, to tell you the truth.
Yeah. I mean, I could see why you'd do that. I mean, look, Joshua's. I don't know what the fuck that's. I think recognize has been arrested again, isn't he? The recognize can go missing for another 6 months, another sentence. But
that was me, bro.
That sounds like the movie Back to the Future when he hooks up his guitar to the mics to the fucking speakers.
Hey, well, we better get Recogniser's opinion in there before the cops do come and take him. So,
look, man, that's a 50-50 fight. I go back and forth with it, and like I could see Joshua winning. You know, I don't want to take a cop out, but I don't know. I don't know who can win that fight. I could see Usyk just outboxing him throughout the whole fight. Maybe wear him out and stop him late. But I think it would be more like a on the cards whether he gets it or not. Most people would think he won the fight. But I could also see Joshua knocking him out, Stu. I could definitely see that.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, look, Usyk cannot be fighting like he did against Tony Bellew. He took far too long to work Bellew out. It just took far too long, and he was getting caught with shots. And I think if he gets caught with them shots against Joshua, it's going to be a bad night for him. I mean, let's just read the chat what they think, because we've got Jonathan Morrison says Usyk. AJ smashes Usyk. Sorry. Evan Deere says Joshua wins against Usyk. Usyk hasn't fought enough. Big Dan. Oh, he's talking about something else. I'm from the UK and rate Ruiz, says Dave. At this point, Usyk has too long outside the ring and too many injuries. Usyk has a chance for sure, but Joshua beats him at this point, in my opinion. And that's from Stephen Lawler. Who else? Yeah, that's where we are. Let's go to Johnny Boy.
Yes, sir.
Your opinion on Usyk, Joshua?
Usyk beats the fuck out of him. Usyk beats the fuck out of that roided up fucking pussy ass 33-1 underdog losing ass punk fuck boy to oblivion. Okay, here's what that's why he's talking about vacating the title instead of fighting him, because he's a fucking big roided up vagina and Usyk fucking slaps the shit out of him. That's why. There you go.
I like Johnny Boy's
I'm going to say we got precise in the chat. I think there's fight films here. He's saying that AJ's a good tune-up for you.
Yeah, that's no. I just told precise. I'm like, yeah, exactly, dog.
Yeah, I mean, if precise wants to jump
you guys
on,
might be right. I could see that when it comes to boxing skills. I mean, Joshua is average at best compared to Usyk. So, yeah, I mean. It all depends. If he takes that punch good, if he doesn't get caught, put it this way, it's not he could take a punch. We know that. Usyk could take a punch. Don't get caught with some shit while you're tired, while you're, off guard. He's fine. He beats him. Yep. He beats him on points. He beats him on points and probably stops him late. Because if Ruiz could hurt him, I think Usyk can too.
Yeah, he's the opposite of robotic, right? Usyk is the opposite of what Joshua is.
Okay, until I see Usyk get
Usyk's had. Go ahead, D.
Yeah, until I see Usyk in this Chisora fight, all of that shit just sounds like foolishness to me. Usyk could take a punch where, from Michael Hunter. I mean, bro, let's be for real. Joshua, who hit harder than him at the heavyweight division. I feel everything y'all saying about Usyk, but let's pump the brakes until he gets into the Chisora fight. But if Chisora lands on him and knocks him the fuck out, then I bet you none of y'all think he
yeah, I mean, that changes. Listen, man. Hindsight 2020, right? I mean, it's all about. Yeah, if he gets knocked out by Chisora, I mean, again, I don't like playing the triangle theory. I hate doing that, but yeah, there's a good point to that. It's like.
Yeah, but the thing is, I think Usyk's hand speed will be a big problem for Joshua. His hand speed and his straight punches. I mean, Joshua, like I said, he hates them sort of shots. But I also think if Usyk is clumsy and lazy when he's coming inside, he's going to get caught with big shots. So, mid-range. I wouldn't say Joshua's an inside fighter, but a mid-range, very dangerous. So Usyk's got to keep the right distance. He's got to judge the distance. He's got to be in and out. And that's how he's going to do it as well. I mean, if he sits there and trades with Joshua, starts trading mid-range with Joshua, then I'll see Joshua sleeping Usyk. But the hand speed of Usyk, I think, could be a problem.
Stu, the one thing I have concerns about, and maybe it's not a big concern, is Usyk's inactivity the last 2 years, I want to say.
Yeah, I agree.
He's one of these boxers on the move. Everything is in rhythm. Everything is in tune. you wonder if the layoff sometimes and maybe gaining a little bit of weight, getting older. I mean, he's not old, like, oh shit, it's time for him to hang him up. But I think he's in his 30s.
Yeah, of course, man. Look, rhythm. You can't get rhythm in sparring. I've always said that. Rhythm comes with fights and being busy. You just can't. You can't replicate a fight in a sparring match. It's just not going to happen. But Del Boy, what's your opinion on this one? Usyk versus Joshua.
I would like to reserve judgment until the Chisora fight, but
come on, Del Boy.
No. If Usyk looks good against Chisora, I think stylistically, again, he's going to give Joshua all sorts of problems. I actually think a stoppage wouldn't be out of the realms of possibility. Usyk makes you work extremely hard, man. Underrated body work, very good in the pocket. If he can get in the pocket, I think he's going to give Joshua fits. I don't think he can. I wouldn't box Joshua, but I'd get inside, to be honest. Work him. Keep off the centre line.
Yeah, but you got to keep off mid range though. Mid range is dangerous with Joshua.
Yeah, keep off centre line. Create angles for yourself. I think you can beat Joshua and drown him late on. I don't think Joshua's gas tank is all that, to be honest.
You made a great point. You made a great point, Del, because with Bellew, if you watch Bellew, he was doing very well, but he became mentally exhausted. Usyk just had him thinking on it all the time, constantly working, constantly thinking, constantly moving, and it overwhelms you in the end. And
that's
before
a lighter
you know,
fighter too. Remember?
Yeah, and before you know it, the thing is, because he's adapting on the job. Watch Usyk, something's not working, he's doing something else. So you think you've got the guy figured out, and then he's coming up with something else. You're constantly figuring stuff out. Before you know it, you're doing nothing, and he's fucking laying into you. And this is what Usyk does so good. And Joshua is another one. Mental fatigue, physical fatigue, even with Joshua in the latter rounds. I can see that coming into play, and I can see Usyk taking over. I think Joshua, to win this fight, he has to get Usyk early with a big shot.
Recognize, dog. Oh, Jesus. Go ahead, Gonzalo.
Well, you don't have to get mad, Johnny. Go ahead. You can
No.
I thought I edged you out on the fucking mic, but it's all right.
Go ahead, dude. I don't care. The fuck.
Okay. All right. It's all about time, Johnny. It's all about time. You know, I kind of see it like this. I'm just kidding. Hey, I kind of see it like this. Look, Holyfield, he was a dominant cruiserweight. He was a small guy. No, small guy's supposed to beat like a bigger guy. That's the style. But I mean, look, Usyk is moving up, and he's fighting in an era where most of these guys are bigger. So the disparity in size from a smaller guy to a bigger guy is greater than it was when Holyfield was fighting. Now, I kind of see Usyk as like a Muhammad Ali. Yeah, he's about 6'3". Muhammad Ali was very skillful, and even so, he had a hard time and used to get hit a lot when he fought all these world-class fighters. Now, like Usyk, he's going to have the same challenges, especially since the disparity is bigger than when Holyfield was fighting. He's not going to be as dominant. And his skills are going to be tested to the limit. Where the 6'3" guy, he's going to have it tough facing these big heavyweights.
And I may add on it quick. Just a quick one is, Usyk is still unproven. I feel like, he had his fight with Takam lined up, which was going to be a good proving ground for him, and then that got screwed up. He ended up fighting Witherspoon.
Yeah, but I prefer Chisora.
Yeah, well, he's got the proven ground coming up. He's got that match coming up, but he's still, people can't be counting their eggs a little too early on him still, He's a cruiserweight. Yeah, got to see a good competition.
I think that I think Usyk would get inside and throw him fits. If you're not sitting right in front of AJ, he can't fucking hit you. So I think Usyk does a job on him. I've been saying that shit, and that's why he's trying to drop his title right now. But recognize, dog, because I haven't seen you in a while or talked to you in a while. Fucking where that kid got shot when the protest started back up, dog. That's where I went to high school at over there.
Which one are you talking about?
In Wisconsin.
Oh shit! Yeah.
Yeah,
that's right.
Now the whole fucking village is on fire, dog.
Yeah, no, I mean, I saw the news, and like these are little cities, bro. So that shit has a dramatic impact. And it happened in New York too, man. New York was out of control, bro. It was definitely out of control.
Yeah. No, let's change. I didn't mean to get off topic there, Stu.
Man, fucking hell, man.
Get him a yellow card.
Listen, Usyk is listen, this is an incredibly smart dude. He's going to come up with a really good game plan, like all boxers do. Some are better than others. When he fights, AJ. Like when he goes in there against AJ, look, in terms of skills, there's gonna be nothing he hasn't seen before. The question is, obviously, can AJ catch him with a shot that Usyk cannot take his, he can't take it. I know people say, that's very simplistic, but to me, that's how I look at it, because if he can't, that's Usyk all day. And Usyk, like Del Boy and Johnny Boy said, probably stops him late.
Yeah.
Remember the Rumble in the Jungle, Stuart, where Muhammad Ali fought George Foreman?
Yeah, but I just don't see any rope-a-dope happening that night, do you?
No, what I'm saying, Usyk is like a smaller guy. Now, if this is Foreman and Joshua, this is a bigger version of Foreman, right? The disparity is bigger.
The thing is,
though, like, skill for boxing, yeah.
Sorry, Gonzalo, but when you talk heavyweight, you get 15.5, 16 stone with speed and power. You're knocking any man out. David Hay hurt Nikolai Valuev. The guy was about fucking 30 stone in there. I mean, look, when you get to the heavyweight division, mate, you can spark anyone when you hit them clean. And no matter, and like Usyk's still a big guy. I mean, we're all saying, the smaller guy, Usyk. He's 6'3", built like a brick shithouse. So he's still he's still a fit guy, man. And
fucking Usyk is. I saw some pictures too. He's a big man. That's a big dude.
He's a monster of a man. Look, stop using the excuse. If David Hay can do it, then he can. Do you know what I mean? Because I think he's a better fighter than David Hay.
If you put him in front of people, just take him out of the equation with guys like obviously Tyson Fury, Wilder, and Usyk, and Joshua. Usyk is a big fucking man compared to most people. You know what I'm saying? So
look, Chisora, there's not going to be when he fights Chisora, that is going to be the perfect fight to build it for AJ, because Chisora is going to bring it to him, and we're going to see what Usyk's all about in the heavyweight division. He's going to have to take shots because he will get hit, and we're just going to see how he performs, and that's going to give us a better.
That guy's a monster. He's like Orlando Salido to Lomachenko. Talk about our Ukrainian. This guy's a massive dude with a lot of losses, but he's like a pressure fighter in the heavyweight.
Yeah.
So he's gonna kind of be like the weight bully against Usyk.
It's good you bring up Lomachenko too. I was gonna mention his name.
See how he deals with that weight disparity, because this guy's gonna be pushing on his body, being real physical with them.
I'm thinking too, Usyk and Lomachenko, they come from the same camp, same mindset, and these are guys who are smart. They make game.
Yo, Stuart, can you hear me? Somebody talking, because I don't know if I'm breaking up or not.
No, I can hear you, bro. I can hear you. Go ahead, Revolution.
I wanted to say to D. Jefferson that he said, "What's the evidence that Jason Rosario was speaking about if he's a real puncher?"
We're sticking. Let's stick on the topic. Let's stick on the topic.
Let me get my shit in. Hold up. Can Gonzalo? Can you hear me? Okay. All right. So what was it? What was I saying now? We need to see. Okay. So Lomachenko, Usyk, they come from the same camp. They're intelligent fighters. They got game plans. They're thinking fighters. So if we're gonna have that moment where Usyk's chin gets tested, let's say he gets knocked down for the first time, that intelligence, that ring IQ could help him out a lot. That's going to help him. Get on the bicycle, get his legs back under him. So
know-how is one of the best traits to have, or best skills to have when you're on the defensive and you're taking a pounding. A lot of these guys, you got to remember, I said earlier, there's a lot of fighters that go in there to survive. So they make a living out of learning how to survive, and it gets very difficult to get people out of there like that when they're in there just to survive. The thing is, some fighters, when you have someone coming onto them, you get the best out of them, and that's what a lot of fighters, you'll see them fighting cannon fodder, and they're just plodding along, following them around the ring, trying to get them out of there, and it becomes they look quite poor at times. But then you get a guy that's dangerous, has come in to win, and you'll see the best of the guys, and I think that's what Usyk's about. When Bellew was putting it on him for a little bit, you saw Usyk, despite him, he sort of changed the game plan straight away. And he just started looping his shots instead of the straight punches that weren't working with the Bellew shoulder on. He was sort of they weren't hitting clean, so he started to loop his shots, and they were working. And then he just started taking control. That's the sign of Usyk. He's always got a game B, a game C. Where Joshua, I've seen he seems to fight the same all the time. I know he didn't with Ruiz, but come on, Ruiz was a slob in there.
Yeah, Ruiz was 285 pounds.
Yeah.
And one more thing about Usyk, by the way, quickly. I know it's a long time ago, but the Joe Joyce fight in the World Series of Boxing, he didn't just outskill him; he outfought him and physically matched him as well.
I remember that fight, Del Boy. I remember that fight like the way you beat me up in the finals. Yeah, it was something like that.
Ooh!
I'm coming back for my revenge, though. Just to let you know.
No, I was just gonna say real quick. Did we make our picks for the Charlo shit or the Charlo card, BDA or Bucho? Or are we gonna do that later in the week?
Yeah, I think we've got a pre-show doing that.
Oh, okay, all right. But yeah. That's right.
One thing about Jason Rosario, real quick. Remember, that's a young kid. He's learning. He's still learning. He's getting better. That's why I don't like.
That's what I was mentioning.
Even though D. Jefferson brings up a good point, like look, the triangle theory really doesn't work if you look out through the history of boxing, but sometimes it does. Right. Sometimes it does. But what I would say is this: that Rosario is getting better, and knocking out a champion will boost your confidence. Either in the sense that it helps you. Or if even if you lose going out on your shield because you just have that confidence. So either way, he's a dangerous fighter for
exactly what you just said right now is what I wanted to say. They're recognized. He's an improved fighter, and also he got them belts now. He rises to the occasion.
Right. You see, back in the days, young guys, 22, 23, would be able to beat a guy who's 29, 30 years old, still in his prime, but maybe a little bit too much mileage on the gas tank. But normally, guys that are a 30-year-old has more of an advantage than a 23-year-old fighting.
Yeah, cool. And the thing is as well, like this Rosario situation, a bit like John Ryder, like lost a few fights and that, and everyone writes him off. But when he stuck him in there with Karen Smith, a lot of people thought he won that fight. Karen Smith's meant to be the best 168 in the business. So you just because they've got a few defeats, don't mean they're not going to go in there and put on a performance. These guys, a lot of fighters they learn from defeats and get better. So sometimes a lot of boxing fans will look at a record, go, "Oh, he's got 4 or 5 defeats." I mean, what sort of bum's this? But when these guys learn from their defeats, and they become the fighter they are, and that's why John Ryder, all of a sudden, he's found his weight at 168. He's looking at a very good fight, and there's talk about him fighting Jacobs, which I think is a very good fight. I really do.
A good fight.
I like that fight.
And also, go ahead, Johnny.
No. I was just gonna say. That dude that's training Rosario, the little short guy, the little short chubby guy, that's gonna be me in like 20 years. Motherfucker looks like me. That motherfucker looks like that motherfucker looks like me, dog. And he's training him in
That's your brother, Johnny boy.
That's my primo right there. He fucking dude, and he's training him in Pompano. I used to live in Pompano.
Yeah, man.
That's one thing I wanted to say. That's one thing I wanted to say. Watch.
He looks nice and hot where Johnny is, man. I'm sitting there getting cold and.
Johnny looked like George the Animal Steel's son.
A lot of these fighters from South America, maybe early on in their careers, they don't get the backing or they don't have.
I thought he's Dominican.
Level of sparring competition to really be. I
thought he's Dominican.
Good fighters to become better, but once they get the backing and they get a good training camp, they're vastly improving because they got better training. And I think this is the case with Rosario. He's not.
Hey, Gonzalo, where's he from? Where's
from,
Rosario from?
The
Dominican Republic. He's Dominican.
That's what I thought.
He's Dominican.
He's not. Now he's in a different place than where he was before.
Yeah.
I know you guys will be surprised about this, but the Dominican boxing program is a very tough fucking program, from what I heard, because they don't put you into like the higher level unless you're really good.
Yeah, but it's not working though, bruv. It's fucking not working. They're useless. What you fucking Delvin Rodriguez, please. Edwin Rodriguez. Who's the other one? Fucking Nestor Gibbs. That's about the only one I can think of. Get out of here, man.
Nestor Gibbs could have been a great heavyweight.
Look, mate, they've been an absolute shambles for years. They've become the laughing stock of the Latino world. Do you know what I mean? The Latin world. I mean, look, they're not producing anyone. They used to. I mean, the Puerto Ricans are having the best of times, but they've always got good fighters. These always that you want to see. Love watching the Puerto Ricans with the Mexicans. These Dominicans, man, they're not. I mean, if that school was meant to be the toughest, they need to change things up a little bit because they're working.
You know what it is though. What they do is look. I'm not saying that they have the toughest competition, but in order for the Dominicans to sponsor you, you got to stand out because they don't like to get embarrassed. Of course, like any of these little islands, little countries. They don't really like to get embarrassed. So of course, it turns out it doesn't always work out. Delvin Rodriguez, yeah, but Delvin Rodriguez, I don't think he was from the Dominican Republic. I mean, meaning he is Dominican, but I don't think he. I think
he's from New York.
From New York. Okay, there you go.
Yeah.
He's from New York. That makes sense. But from the island in DR, you've heard of Guzman, right? Remember Guzman?
Yeah,
of course.
I remember the name.
Yeah, Juan Guzman.
Right. Juan Guzman. That boy had to really show and prove to get they kept holding him back. Nah, we don't think you're ready for the pros. Boxing against Puerto Ricans, winning, some of them maybe slightly losing. I'm like, yo, this guy's ready now. What are you doing? Let the guy fucking box. They didn't let him go to the pros like that or fight top level competition until they felt comfortable. So it is a good strategy. They just need better competition on the way up.
Yeah.
Sorry, John.
Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say my pops went there 10 years ago, Dominican Republic, and he was like, because he left the resort, he's like, fuck this, I'm gonna go explore and shit. He's like, when he got back, he's like, God damn, I ain't seen no rough shit like that since I lived in the city in the 80s.
Oh, yeah. It's like West Beirut, isn't it? It's like West Beirut. But BDA, did you want to say something?
He was like, God damn, I ain't seen no wild shit like this.
Dude, they robbed this guy, Big Boy, from Outcast on video in DR. They fucking robbed him.
Because I was listening to the show and they were talking about the Dominicans in boxing. It's Dominicans are like the Colombians in boxing. It's like you see them every once in a while, or more often the Colombians, but you see them in boxing, but it's rare to see one of them get into the top 10 pound for pound rankings. I don't know why, but every time I see Dominicans, most of the time they're very physically talented. Like Argenis Mendez. Argenis Mendez was another one that he never went anywhere, but for a while there, he looked like he was going to be onto something. Guzman, too, recognized, mentioned. Now there's another dude. Javier Fortuna. He's from the Dominican Republic, right?
Yeah. Carlos Adame, too, BD, I think.
Carlos Adame. They all have very good talent, physical talent, but so far we haven't seen.
And that's where they come from, BDA. Where Fortuna's from in DR. I think he's from
Santo Domingo.
Yeah. There's a little town over there. I forget the name of it. But a lot of those dudes are coming from there because they're from the streets and shit.
Yeah.
Maybe they're a little undersized to play baseball because baseball's their thing. That's Dominicans. Anybody who denies this, I'm not Dominican. I'm Puerto Rican. You guys know that. So, but the one thing you cannot deny, Dominicans make great baseball players.
Recognize. How about my White Sox, dog? Smacking
your White Sox are good, B.
They smacking fools, bro. I'm about to grab me an Abreu jersey, man.
You got nothing but Dominicans and Cubans on that fucking team.
Yeah, man, they smacking fools right now, bro. Yeah.
Yeah, so when guys like what's his name, Fortuna, I believe Guzman was from there too. I'm not 100% sure. Maybe somebody from the Dominican could tell you that. But those guys, they're a little undersized, and then from the streets, they put them in the boxing gym. They're on their way of creating a boxing culture. It's just taking some time, like anything.
Look, with boxing needs no coincidence. The big nations that bring out the most boxing champions probably apart from Mexico, because they just breed them early, don't they? They stick them in there like 13 with big grown-ass men. They learn you have to learn to fight quick before you get your ass whooped in Mexico. But with the other countries like the UK and America and the Ukraine and so on, the amateur backgrounds, Cuba, I mean, just amateur backgrounds, it means a lot of difference. I mean, the UK started bringing good fighters in when government started funding the Olympic team. We were we weren't bringing anyone through. It's only when the government started funding the Olympic teams and funding them well as well. No coincidence.
Stu, when it comes to the professional game in the Latin world, Mexico is the gold standard. I mean, that's just the truth, bro. They lead the way, you know.
Well,
and
yeah,
so
because
all these other nations, all these little islands and countries, they're just trying to keep up. They're trying to be competitive.
Yeah, but there's a lot of people. There's a lot of Mexicans, isn't there? Let's be real. There's a lot of Mexicans. About
Yeah,
370.
Yeah.
There's about 370 million of them in Mexico, and about 50, 60 million of them in the US. So there's a lot of
There's 90 million. There's 90 million or 100 million Mexicans, but in the US,
Mexico, I think it's about 100 million people.
And I will say this, even though, well, I'm a little biased towards the Puerto Ricans because they're my family, but like for that little island, that little bitty fucking island in the middle of nowhere to produce the amount of champions they have, that's something special, bro. It's because
you know what the mentality is, Johnny boy.
What's that?
Let's keep up with the Mexicans.
Right.
Yo, we gotta be tough because we know how the Mexicans bring it.
Yeah, but that's like that's like Ferrari trying to produce the amount of cars Ford does.
Right,
You're just not going to do it.
And I wanted to say, also, you know, like a fighter for the Dominican Republic is not the A side. This guy Jackson Martinez that fought Rolly Romero, he's from Santo Domingo as well.
Oh,
he clearly won that fight and he fucking got shafted. These guys
Gonzalo.
are not the A side.
That kid, that Rolly Romero's a little fucking bitch. I can't stand that little loudmouth prick. But he lost
dude, last fight, Johnny boy.
That dude, the Dominican kid, whooped his fucking ass, dog. That was bogus as hell.
He beat him.
That was bogus.
That's a disgrace, man. Rolly Romero is a little spastic, honestly. That guy needs to sit down.
That kid's a little fucking fruitcake, though. Yeah.
Is there something mentally wrong with him? Because when I hear him speak, I get that impression sometimes.
Yeah, he's a little off, man.
Straight up.
I mean,
definitely a little off.
He can't box, bro. Rolly Romero can't box, bro.
Yeah, it's one shot at a time. One shot at a time.
AD Jefferson. His last fight, bro. His last fight, like that was the first one I saw. I was like, "This is the guy y'all talking about?"
Yeah, that's disgusting. That shit was disgusting. Like he's got no technique. This dude is like he's garbage. All he has is power. That's it.
Even that's probably overrated. Like he loads up every single shot, one shot at a time, no jab, no feints, no head movement, no nothing. He's terrible.
He's a lesser version of Tank Davis. He's a lesser version.
That's what I call a one-pace fighter, where you're just changing the rhythms the same, the punches are coming with the same venom. You know, there's just nothing. I mean, look at all the best fighters. Chocolatito, Lomachenko, and Crawford at times. A lot of them are just pity-pat throwaway shots, waiting for the opening for the big one to follow through, and that's what you got to do. Set your shots up, man. You can't be just throwing everything at the same pace because it's like everything. You just get used to it. Every fight will get used to time, and you just get used to it. You've got to change the rhythm at the pace. You've got to set your shots up, and a lot of these fighters don't. They just stroll forward, square on, throwing bombs, and then they wonder why they wake up and the referee said it's over, son. Do you know what I mean?
Hey, by the way, if any of you can actually talk to Martinez. Jackson Martinez, who got shafted against Romero. Somebody needs to ask him why the fuck he was screaming Maria as soon as the fight ended. Listen to this. This was the most bizarre thing other than the decision. Hold on.
La campana está cerca. Esto, señoras y señores, ha terminado. Nos vamos a las tarjetas de los jueces.
Who the fuck is Maria?
Maria, you bitch.
I need to know who Maria is, man.
Maria.
What did De Niro do on Analysis? Maria, you got to get me out of here, Maria.
Maria. I was waiting for him to start singing. I was waiting for him to start singing Despacito, wasn't it? Well,
Maria must have.
Maria's is like baby mom that they on the rock. You know what I'm saying? They're on the rock right now.
Look at me now, bitch. Look at me now. Look at me now.
You cheated on me with Jorge. Look at me now.
Trinidad. Both Benitez and Felix Trinidad. My two favorites.
You fucked my homeboy Miguel. Look at me now, Maria. Yeah.
Fuck you and Miguel.
Yeah, you blew Miguel. What's the matter with you?
I like Camacho too.
Yeah. Well, let's get back on some of the stories that We just talked about Usyk.
Dude, man, really quick.
Hang on a sec. Daniel Dubois Joyce expected to be moved to a new date again. This is Frank all over again.
Oh,
Do you know what Frank Warren, right? He's like, you know that fly that just flies around you at night when you're sleeping and just won't go away. You try to hit him, you try to catch him, he just keeps evading you. You actually stamp on him and he gets back up and flies off. This is Frank Warren. He's that fly on shit. And he just... This guy,
Stu,
he's probably done 10 different posters for this fight. I mean, this fight's had about 10 different venues. You know, look, I just don't know what to say anymore about this fight. Everyone wants to know my opinion on this fight. I mean, please, give me a date and we can start from there. This is Frank we're talking about.
He's a guy,
when it happens.
Delbo, I want to hear your view on this because as a British guy, I want to hear another British guy's opinion on Frank because I don't want people to think it's just I'm speaking for the UK. Let them know.
What it is, mate. They need a crowd, man. That fight loses money if there's no crowd. Simple as that. Nobody knows these guys in the UK. It's that simple. It's going to go on pay-per-view. Pay-per-view alone is not going to pay those purses. They need the live gate. And Frank's keep on pushing it back till we get that. But, I'll be honest here. I kind of don't expect that fight to happen now. Be honest. I'm not convinced, man. Frank is I don't know, man.
What? Look,
Frank. Do you know what, Frank? Go ahead, BDO.
I'm sorry. It was BDO.
Oh, was that you, Johnny? Go ahead, John.
Oh, okay. No. Well, that's what I was gonna say. Like, man, I don't. I've said this since I've started fucking. Since I became friends with y'all, bro. I don't give a shit who puts on the good fights. Just put on good fights, and I'll watch the motherfucker. It's I mean, how long are we gonna wait?
Point.
No, hang on. Let me just say this, Stu. I mean, how long are we gonna wait up with our arms up our ass for fucking AJ and Pulev over here? For Christ's sake, like, come on, man.
You guys know there's a lot of great.
To be fair, right, that fight's the sort of fight you could make with no crowd because Pulev brings zero crowd to the show anyway.
Well, that's what I mean. How long are we gonna sit around waiting for that dumb old shit to finally happen? Like, come on, man.
Yeah. Pule's going to be walking in like fucking Drago's dad in Creed 2, isn't it? He's looking about fucking 60. Do you know what I mean? I mean, how long have we got to wait?
Guy goes in there looking like the mummy, man. Jesus.
Junior Ticos is fighting Myers Bradis this weekend. Freaking Josh Taylor's fighting that undefeated guy. Casimiro's fighting another guy that's undefeated, I believe, with 19 KOs and 24 fights. Daniel Roman, Juan Carlos Payano. A lot of good fights. Randy Figueroa, Mauro Barrios, freaking who else? There's the names of names here. Maybe not like against the best competition, but Danny Roman.
Let me jump in on the Dubois conversation because y'all just kind of took it away from Dubois. Like Daniel Dubois, Frank Warren, bro, he's gonna ruin that kid. And the reason I say that because he's not getting him into the fights that he needs to be in to get better. Fucking Fujimoto and that's not gonna cut it. And then eventually the kid's gonna want to move forward and he's gonna get beat up.
Fucking what's it called? I think they took Gonzalo. I think they took Mario Barrios off the card because I know a couple of his cousins and shit and his aunties. I think because he's got family. Yeah, he's got family up here. But yeah, I think they took him because he was supposed to be on the Charlo card. And I just went ahead and bought that motherfucker because I want him to watch it with my pops and shit. So I was like, shit, I'll buy that motherfucker. With me and him gonna make a pizza and watch the fights. Because I do, the shitty thing is, bro, I'm gonna miss the Dorticos and Bradis fight because I'm gonna be playing golf that morning. I'm playing golf with a couple of my homeboys. So I'm gonna miss
Johnny,
that.
When's that fight? When's that fight?
Charlo shit?
Dorticos and Bradis.
That's on Saturday.
On Saturday.
That's on Saturday.
Man.
But
I'm watching that fight.
Yeah, I gotta go. I'm golfing with a couple of my homeboys. But I fucking that shit. And y'all recognize it's on at like noon or something or 1 o'clock your time because it's in Russia or it's in fucking Germany or something.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Charlo.
Right.
Yeah. The Charlo card.
Bradis from he's from Latvia, I believe.
Yeah, but I think they're fighting in Germany or some shit like that.
Copy. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, recognise the Charlo card is actually pay-per-view in the UK. You know,
it is
pay-per-view on UK by you guys.
It is.
God damn.
It is here too. The bitch is $75.
It's
£15, isn't it, Del?
Do you know what, Stuvo? Real talk here. I ain't gonna lie. I'd still rather pay for that than some of this Matchroom shit.
I do, but what is BT giving us? I'm paying for the subscription for BT every month. What are they giving us, man? Frank Warren, any half decent card, he's charging us for us. I mean, every card. I mean, he moans about Herb putting on pay-per-view events on every chance he can.
Warren sounds like a pimp.
Every fight. He's going to put Dubar Joyce on.
It's the same. Do you know what, Stu? Yeah, but for quality, people say like in America, yeah, the UK scene's booming. That's bullshit, man. It's only Joshua and Fury and White. That's it. Everything else, yeah, anything half decent is on a fucking pay-per-view undercard. A few years ago, Stu. Do you remember when Eddie Hearn he was asked about why is there so many pay-per-view cards in the UK? And he was saying after that, well, yeah, there's more pay-per-views, but as a result, the regular Sky cards are going to get a lot better with more world title fights.
Yeah,
where the fuck
they never did.
I mean,
yeah, and then he changed it and said, "Well, how can I get these big fights on without putting on pay-per-view?" Just change. He contradicts himself. I'm sick to death of seeing that fucking guy on my computer screen.
Fucking £40 a month on Sky is going to get you Kell Brook versus Mark DeLuca. Fuck me. I mean, garbage.
Do you know this beef between? Do you know what Eddie Hearn's done though? Eddie Hearn claims to be all for the boxing fan, but this beef without Al Heyman and that has actually cost us because we used to get Al Heyman fights on Sky Sports. Now, since the beef, we're not getting them. Warren's getting them, and he's putting everything he can on pay-per-view. Because do you know why? Because he doesn't have anyone to put on BT. His card's gonna. I mean, he's got Dubar and Joyce, and then you're struggling, aren't you? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's about it. Yeah, it's a joke, isn't it? Absolute joke.
Frank, I tell you, Frank just needs to go away now. I've had nothing. I like listening to his interviews, and he's an old school guy. People say Bob Arum's lost the plot, but Bob Arum still puts on good cards. Still got world class fighters. Do you know what I mean, pound for pounders? Who's Frank Warren got? Nobody.
Fucking Liam Williams and shit like that. Yeah,
I like Liam Williams, right? But Liam Williams is no big name that's going to get Frank out of the fucking trouble, mate. He's in trouble, Frank. He's in trouble. That's why he's stewing up this Joyce Dubar. He's going to let that stew until the meat goes all dry.
The worst one of the pay-per-view bunch is without a doubt, well, at least over here, without a doubt, is that stupid ass Tank Davis Santa Cruz card. Like, you can get fucked. I ain't paying you. Y'all motherfuckers should be paying me to watch that fight. Straight up.
Pay-per-view?
Yeah, I recognize.
Damn.
Yeah, it's saying it's not on BT Sports, but I know Frank Warren's got something to do with this. You know, because Al Heyman and Frank have got close, haven't they? And I've noticed a lot of the Heyman fights have been on BT. So even if BT haven't snapped this off, some 5 TV, whatever it's on, Channel 5 might have a fucking contract with him. And I heard something like that ITV or Channel 5 had a little contract with Heyman. I don't know, but either way, Frank's in the middle of this, and he's look. It's pay-per-view. 4 o'clock in the morning, 5 o'clock in the morning to watch the Charlos in the UK. I don't know. What do you reckon, Del?
I'm tempted, I ain't gonna lie.
But that's because you're starving, isn't it? It's like, when you're hungry and you've been working all day and you go, McDonald's tastes as shit. But when you're fucking hungry, it tastes good, doesn't it? And that's what it is, mate. It's one of them where it's a good card, it is, but because you've been so starved,
McDonald's
looks a lot better than what it really is.
McDonald's is where you go, or Wendy's or one of them shits. That's where you go at 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock on a Sunday morning when you're hungover and you ain't got no food in the house.
Yeah, because sausage. Yeah, that sausage and egg McMuffin does the fucking job with a latte.
Yeah, then you go. That's when you run up in there and get a fucking quarter.
Oh, mate, yeah. But the thing is, my point was, you could stick crackers in front of someone if they're hungry. Them crackers are going to taste the nicest food they've had for a long time, And that's what we are. We're hungry for boxing. So the Charlo card is very good, but I think we're all getting a bit too excited. This is Derevyachenko, the guy that's a specialist in failure. We've got Rosario. We've got Rosario, who's he's coming into his game sort of thing, but he's proven nothing. He's no decent wins on it. Go ahead, John.
Card.
You got a delay, a little bit of a delay.
Yeah, go ahead, John. Go ahead.
No. I said, what's that bitch cost in the UK? The Charlo card. What does it cost?
£15, which I've worked out to be. I'm not sure how the rate is at the moment. It's probably about 20, 25 around that. Probably a bit less. I don't know, but $25. Sorry,
that's
$25.
That's like 30 American dollars or something. Yeah.
Yeah, 25 American dollars. Yeah, something like that. Around that. I don't know, but
yeah.
I remember pay-per-view used to be much. $25, $30.
Mm-hmm. But this is not new because I remember fucking using all my I used to do a paper round as a fucking kid. Well, no. I used to do paper round as a kid. I used to fucking use my paper round money. I used to save my paper round money for Prince Nassim Hamid pay-per-views. So the UK's had pay-per-views for years. I mean, look, who was the other one? I actually bought Barrera Morales. Both of them fights were on pay-per-view in the UK, and I paid for them. Obviously, it's a bit of a difference between the Charlos and Barrera and Morales. You know, there's a difference, and of course I'm going to pay for that one. And I was only getting YTS money at the time. I was probably because I was learning a trade. I was only getting £40 a week, and I fucking used 15 of it to watch Barrera and Morales. I mean, that's the difference. Would I use if I had $40 now? Would I use 15 on the Charlos? Definitely not. So that's the standards I'm looking for as a UK fan paying for American fights overseas. I want that sort of standard. I don't want.
Yo, by the way, I don't know how you American guys do it, man. I can't imagine paying $75 for any fucking fight.
We don't, man. That's the thing. That's the thing, Cowboy. We don't do it. We stream it or watch it at some fucking bar or something.
$75, mate. You get a fucking gram of cocaine and fucking 10-pack of Stella for that. Well, get out.
That's mad.
It's a lot of money, man.
By the way, £15 is just $19.22.
Is it? Okay.
I wouldn't pay fucking $75.
It's not a lot of money. Look, I'm not complaining. I will probably buy it. Right, I will probably buy it. But my problem is, it's just Frank. I'm not blaming the Charles. I'm blaming Frank for this. This guy, for the last 5 years, he's been saying about Eddie Hearn putting on bum pay-per-view cards. But this guy will put any half decent fight that's competitive. Bet your life, Frank's putting it on pay-per-view. We don't get nothing for our subscriptions that we pay for. Nothing.
It's expensive as well. Do you know what I mean?
It is. I'm all right because when Joshua fights, I usually have a few mates round and we just get wrecked and sort of like. I don't mind buying it then because they'll bring beers and other stuff and stuff. You know what I mean? We have a laugh, get some food and make a night of it. You don't mind that. But it gets expensive though when you keep doing it. It went for a period where there was nearly a pay-per-view every 2 weeks.
Yeah, I know. It's madness, isn't it?
Yeah, it gets like I said, they always con you as well because they'll say it's like £20 for the pay, but when you ring up, they charge you £2 for speaking on the phone to them, and then they charge you another £2 for it being in HD. And the time it's about £28 the time you fucking paid for it.
Yo, what time? Hey, Stu, real quick, dog. Hey, Stu, thanks for having me on. BDA, thanks for having me on. I gotta go get ready for the game tonight, so y'all take it easy.
Yeah, you got. Yeah, thanks, Steve.
What game you covering, D?
Wait a minute. What's today? Tuesday.
Uh-huh.
Oh, fuck that. I don't have no game tonight. Let's rock.
Oh,
yeah, you might as well stay on here then. There's no game. No game on tonight, bro. I checked the fixture list. There's no game. No, I don't. No, I don't watch basketball.
Usually, what time are the fights over in the UK when they start over here in the United States?
5 in the morning. That's what I'm saying. I mean, look, it's do you really want to stay awake all night for Charlo? I mean, look, it's one of them. But if you pay
early, Stu, just go to sleep early and wake up in the morning.
Yeah, I know. It's just horrible, isn't it? Because after the fight, the adrenaline's going, and you're just wide awake, aren't you? The fucking birds are tweeting, the sun's shining through your curtains, and you're like, I can't get back to sleep. Yeah. So you're walking around like a zombie all day.
I fucking remember when Tyson Fury bashed up Wilder, man. I literally didn't fucking sleep that night, man. Honestly.
Hey mate, I was fucking going through the internet, going through channels and YouTube and Twitter. I could barely open my eyes. It was like piss holes in the snow. But I just couldn't get enough of what I was reading. People trolling Wilder. Loved it. I was about 7, 8 in the morning. I'm still there reading all this stuff. The adrenaline gets hold of you, doesn't it, Kell?
It's like you fucking sorted a fat line, isn't it? You're just fucking wired. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like that, isn't it? You know, but this is the thing, man. You're sitting there all wired, waiting for fucking Charlo to come on.
I fucking need to get wired, mate.
Yeah,
The best way to do
I
it,
probably will.
is the way that Mark does it right. He does streams like a couple days before so he can get prepared. So by the time the fight happens, he's already been staying up for like the last few days before the fight.
Yeah, fucking hell. £58 it is in America. So £58 for the Charlo. That's a lot of money, £58. I mean, £58, fucking get me a bit of smoke, a bit of petrol, and a bit of drink as well, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but if it's 5 in the morning, you're also gonna need the cocaine as well.
Yeah, but I've usually sniffed it all by fucking 5 in the morning.
Fucking Stu's a party animal, boy.
Damn sure.
I'm going to a party tomorrow because my birthday's on the 1st of October, right? So,
happy birthday, bro.
Yeah, but this girl I'm checking, she's doing fucking that sober October for charity. It's where you go all month without having a drink and doing anything.
Stu, how many girlfriends you have, Stu? How many girlfriends? Come on.
How many? What do I have right now?
Yeah, how many girlfriends do you have right now?
Just one right now. Yeah. Yeah, I lost contact with a couple of the other ones, but yeah, she's all right.
Yo, guys, can you hear me?
She's all right.
Fucking paddle, dog. Playing from the motherfucking Himalaya.
Hey, fellas, can you hear me?
Yeah, look,
fellas.
Anyway, we can hear you, people. 1 minute. This girl anyway, she's throwing us a party because obviously she's doing sober October, so she can't drink, and obviously the weather's going to be bad Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. So we're doing it. No, sorry, Thursday and Friday and Saturday. So we're doing it tomorrow instead. So she's got all the banners up. She's doing a party for me. So it's going to be rude not to get wrecked, isn't it? So I've made a few phone calls. You know what I mean? The drinks on got a few drinks ready. I'm going to get really messy tomorrow. Definitely.
Yeah, just wanted to say, because I'm doing a million things at the same time here. I can't be on the show, but just so you know, we got Precise on the StreamYard. Precise, can you hear us?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, I don't see the StreamYard BDAC, so I wouldn't know.
That's okay. That's why I jumped in real quick. But
yeah, good old boy. Thanks for that.
Yeah, I got to jump off, but you guys enjoy the conversation, all right? And Precise, good talking to you, man.
Yeah, we'll get off the cocaine and get back to the boxing because I want to hear Precise's opinion on this card coming up the weekend.
I just wanted to. I know you guys are way over that, but Usyk, AJ, can you hear me? Okay.
Yeah, we can hear you. If you want to talk about that, talk about that one if you want, and then tell us what you think about the Charlo card after.
Yeah. Hey, look, assuming that we're gonna get fair refereeing, because if we get one of these bogus ass referees that allows Joshua to just wrestle, basically, strictly boxing, this is a very easy fight to pick. I don't understand what people are. Why people are acting like this is some kind of, I don't know, difficult fight. It's not. Joshua may win, but anybody that picks Joshua is making a bad prediction. Any Teofimo Lopez against Lomachenko made a bad prediction and doesn't know shit about boxing, basically just going off some other nonsense. To pick the guy that's less skillful and not as good over, the better boxer, what fucking sport are we talking about? It just doesn't make any sense. Even if Joshua or Teofimo win and you pick them to win, you still made a bad prediction.
Yeah, I look, when it comes to boxing. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
What's up, bro?
No, I was gonna say when it comes to boxing, I'm with you on that. Like I always go with who has the better skills. Look, barring AJ, for me, has to win by knockout. That's the only way he could beat him in a fair judging sport of boxing. Real boxing criteria and all that. That's the only way I could see him winning the fight. If he doesn't, I can see Usyk beating him easy on points and more likely stopping him later on in the fight. Starting going to the latter part, the 9th, the 10th, the 11th round, somewhere around there, I could see him actually stopping him. I can't see boxing skills wise how AJ in a just
It's a
judging it fairly
whitewash.
wins.
Boxing skill wise,
Yeah, go ahead.
when
Precise.
it comes to boxing skill, it's a whitewash. It's like it's two completely different levels.
Yeah.
It's lucky, and some people don't believe in lucky punches. So you got a puncher's chance, no doubt about it. Or bad refereeing, bad judging. That's AJ can win that fight. But when it comes to like boxing skill, it's a whitewash. And the same goes in Lomachenko. Like I just don't understand how people sit there and think that picking either one of the two underdogs, in my opinion, it makes any sense. It's like this. Like you could be banging a chick, right, without a condom, but you don't want her to get pregnant, right? You're banging him without a condom. Okay, bad idea. Well, you better not cut her, right? But you could bang her without a condom, come
Pull out.
better for her, and you will not get pregnant. She still may not get pregnant, right? But it was still a bad decision. You know what I'm saying? Like so,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
Teofimo or AJ, they can win. They can win, but to pick them to win, it's a bad pick. It's just
All right. Okay.
No, I just think with Joshua, hand speed is his problem. He just hates hand speed, and Usyk's got plenty of that. And like I said, with Usyk as well, I mean, Joshua fundamentally, defensively as well, is not that sound. You know, I mean, he's got so many flaws defensively. And the thing with Usyk, he throws shots from angles at some. When you teach a guy to defend, you usually teach them to defend from angles that most fighters know. But Usyk comes with funny angles, man. He catches you with, and he changes his game plan all the time. So when you think you've worked Usyk out, he comes with another game plan, and you're constantly working with Usyk. And I think Joshua, that's the sort of thing that he hates, and I think he could fall to pieces if you get what I'm saying. I think Joshua's all right when he's strolling forward behind his guard, letting his shots go.
I think it's a. I don't think it's too. Oh, go ahead, bro. Go ahead, Precise.
Real quick, and then you can go. Look, think of, and I'm not saying Adamek is anywhere near as good as Usyk, but think Adamek versus Michael Grant, was it? Yeah. When Michael Grant cracked Adamek, he sent him all the way across the ring. Like he showed that he had the power to hurt him and knock him out. But it didn't happen, and he got schooled and outboxed by a little guy, by a lightweight coming up to heavyweight, right? I know Michael Grant ain't shit, but Adamek ain't no Usyk either. So that's the type of fight that I see. I see this little guy basically just dancing around the big dude and making a fool out of him. Basically, can he hit him?
Yeah, he's got to be in and out though. He's got to be in and out precisely. He can't be hanging around too long, taking Joshua to a fight.
He's gonna dance around him. He's gonna come in and then step off the side. Go ahead, D.
Yeah, of course he has. Yeah, he has.
All right.
Go ahead, D. Go ahead, D.
Yeah. Because listen, man, I hear what you're saying about the skill you and recognize, but dog, are we fucking just gonna sit here and ignore dimensions and all the attributes? Like, okay, the guy got better skills. I get that, but I don't think. The only thing I said about Joshua Usyk is that I can't assess that fight until we see him and his punch resistance against a guy like Chisora. So if we're just going to say, oh, well, just skill, no, it's not even a hard pick, and he goes in there and get knocked the fuck out by Chisora, it's just dishonest just to ignore attributes and dimensions. I mean, Anthony Joshua towers over top of him. I mean, all of this shit fucking matters, bro. Like, we can't just throw that shit to the side like boxing is all just made up of skill only and everything else don't fucking matter. The thing with Teofimo Lopez, and again, I already said he's the underdog, and either Lomachenko is going to put a masterclass on him or he's going to knock Lomachenko the fuck out. But again, we cannot ignore dimensions. Like Teofimo needs to fight at 140 right now. Lomachenko is over his comfortable. He's not 130, 126 is his comfortable weight. He's already over top of that. He's getting touched way more than he did at 126, 130. He's not fucking retiring nobody on the bench. He's not doing the fancy turning guys. So, I mean, we can't just ignore fucking attributes and size and dimensions like power and all of this other shit and just say, oh, well, the skills win. No, fuck that. Everything has to be taken into account. And somebody that decides to pick the other guy They're not ridiculous in my
Yeah, but
opinion.
the thing is,
They're
though,
not.
D, but does Joshua use his assets to his advantage? When have you ever seen Joshua use his reach and his size? He doesn't, even in the inside. He doesn't lean on the opponent, rough him up like Tyson Fury did to Wilder.
Right.
Took his legs from him in the hold. Joshua
Stu,
does
I
none of
agree
that.
with that.
It's all a
Stu,
bit
I
too
agree with
nice.
that.
It's all a bit too nice and pleasant inside there, isn't it? And that's my
Okay.
thing with Joshua. I just don't. You know, I don't think he uses his attributes. All right, they do come in handy, but you've got, it's like they come in handy when you got two world class fighters in there. That's where they're saying a good big guy will beat a good small guy. That's where the saying comes from. But when you've got a guy that's just doesn't use his size as an advantage, it sort of like takes it out the you know.
Yeah, I get all that, but we again, my thing is this: I cannot make this assessment. Okay,
Equation was the word
I
I was
hear
looking for. Go
everyone
ahead.
saying this about AJ and Usyk, but just like I said earlier before Precise jumped on, if Usyk goes in there and gets knocked the fuck out by fucking Chisora, none of y'all gonna be singing this fucking Anthony Joshua song. No fucking way.
Well,
Of
look,
course
boxing.
Go ahead,
I will be. No. Hold on. I will be, because I'm not talking about Usyk Chisora fight. I'm breaking Usyk. Chisora is a harder fight for Usyk than AJ, but I don't really want to talk about it. Now, let me ask you a question. You taking Tom over Lomachenko?
Size broke up a little bit. You guys can hear?
Yeah, it broke up. Nah, I can't.
Go ahead, Red. Go ahead.
No, okay.
Are you picking?
I don't want to.
I was going to ask D if she's picking Teofimo.
I already put money on Teofimo, but that's just because that's my guy. I did hedge the bet and put money on Lomachenko for the decision, though. So,
Hey, you might be right, but I wouldn't. Me personally, I wouldn't bet on it. I go with the experience and the skills, and the experience and
betting is
skills.
a different game, babe. Betting is a different game, bro, because those odds, if you see those odds and Teofimo get that knockout and that goddamn ticket I'm going to cash in, I think you think otherwise.
No, I listen, in terms of gambling, money wise, to gamble, but I'm talking about me and you got both. We both got money on the line. Whatever guy
The
we
winner
pick,
takes all. The winner takes all.
I'm going easily, in my opinion, and I could be wrong. I mean, that's part of boxing. I could be wrong. I'm going with the guy who has the better skills and more experience, to more likely whitewash him in a 12-round fight, or maybe even stop him. I can see that. I see that more likely as the scenario than Teofimo catches Lomachenko off guard and stops him.
Yeah,
That's the only way I
Lomachenko's been
think
in.
to win.
Yeah, Lomachenko's been in there with big punches before, and if anything, when he fights the big punches, he does a better job on them. It's the boxers that he seems to struggle with.
And
I don't
insofar
know
as
what punch
like
Lomachenko's been in there with that hits anywhere fucking close to Teofimo Lopez. None. Not one.
yeah, that's cool. But see the way you're doing things right now, you're hedging your bet. You're picking both guys by different means, and that's cool. You're gambling. What I'm doing is I'm making a prediction for who wins the fight. I'm going all in. I'm not pussyfooting around this shit. I'm not hedging my bets. I'm not setting it up to where I could say that even if I'm wrong, I could say that I'm right, right? I'm not doing any of that. I'm going all in and I'm saying Lomachenko, right? And just because I'm picking somebody to win the fight, which is I think what the show is all about, that doesn't mean I'm ignoring all these things that the other guy does, because ultimately you got to pick somebody, right? And I'm picking Loma and I'm picking AJ. I'm sorry, Usyk, if that fight ever happens. Now, obviously it's boxing and anybody can win, but just because I don't understand this argument, just because you're picking somebody, that doesn't mean you're ignoring the attributes the other guy has. Obviously I'm considering all the attributes the other guys have, and I think the attributes that the guy that I'm picking has are going to overcome all those attributes the other guy has. So I'm not hedging my bets. I'm just going all in, and I'm picking the better fighter in my opinion. But ultimately it's boxing. Anything could happen. Go ahead, somebody.
Yeah.
I wouldn't
I'm going for
Teofimo Lomachenko straight out like that, because I think the fight's too weird. Like those type of bets is too close. I wouldn't bet that. But AJ, as far as AJ Usyk right now, I would definitely bet AJ, because we don't know what Usyk's punch resistance is at heavyweight.
Yeah.
After
Well,
that,
that's a fair comment.
that'd be something
Yeah,
different.
But we know
that's a
that
fair comment,
AJ's
man.
punch resistance is at heavyweight. It's shit. We know that. So why?
Yeah.
This is
What
what
is
I don't.
Usyk's power
Hold on,
at heavyweight?
hold on. This is what I
Come
don't
on.
understand. This is what I don't understand. We've seen AJ on the canvas how many times? 3, 4 times already. We've never seen Usyk on the canvas, but we're worried about the guy that's never been knocked down about getting knocked out, and not the guy that's been
Yeah.
knocked out before. That's
Yeah,
illogical. That's
Joshua's
just
very
illogical.
vulnerable. Very vulnerable. Joshua.
Joshua, listen, Joshua is what he is a decent. He has decent skills. He has a weak punch resistance from what I've seen so far. Okay, put it this way: it's not terrible. It's not the worst I've ever seen, but it's not up to par with Wilder. Wilder got the shit beat out of him by a guy 275 pounds, and his corner had to throw in the towel. Now, people could say, look, Wilder was going to get knocked out. And more than likely, I think that's what was going to happen. He was going to get knocked out eventually. But, his punch resistance is what ultimately causes his demise and could in the future again. Because, dude, I mean, he got hit with a good shot. He got hit in the temple. He was lost, bro. He was fucking lost. Like, from I think that was the 3rd round, the rest of the 3rd round, all the way to the point he got stopped in the 7th round.
Yeah.
Didn't he see this guy make any adjustments? I saw a guy.
No, exactly.
He was having anxieties because of
he was panicking.
And Andy Ruiz is not a hard puncher, man. We've seen.
No, he's not.
Joe. We've seen. What's the New Zealander's name? Joe.
Joseph Parker.
We've seen him. Yeah, we see Joseph Parker. We seen him take punches off Andy Ruiz one after another and ate him up like nothing. Yep. But Dillian White was able to put a hurting on Joe Parker. So
yeah,
Ruiz is not even that hard of a puncher. You know what I mean?
Look, yeah. The thing is with Joshua, when you clip Joshua, it just takes so long to recover, and a man like Usyk is just going to pounce on him. I think,
exactly.
Like I said. That's Joshua's problem, mate. He's going to get clipped eventually because Joshua is a nervous wreck in there. You can't fight nervous like that, worried about getting KO'd and not getting. David Price will tell you that. David Price is a prime example of a fighter that knows he's going to get hurt the minute he gets clipped, confident shot to pieces. Joshua's not as bad as Price, but he's nearly there. One more stoppage, and that's going to be it for him. I saw a fighter lacking confidence. Dell saw it. Everyone else saw it. Precise saw it. Recognize saw it. This is a Usyk that's confident, never been beat. I mean, it's a tough night. It's a tough night's work for Joshua. It really is. But Joshua can win that fight by stopping.
Dries is not really a power puncher. He's good, but he's not a power puncher.
Joshua's a power puncher. If Joshua catches Usyk clean, I mean, he could win that fight. But I've never seen anything from Usyk to suggest that he can't take a shot. I've seen him hit. Look, you say cruiserweights, Kai. Some of them cruiserweights are hitting just as hard as the heavyweights because they're hitting a lot faster, and a lot of the power comes with speed. So don't underestimate the power some of them cruiserweights have got. Gassiev hits like a truck.
That's right.
That's right. And you gotta hit him clean. It's so difficult to hit the guy cleanly. It's like Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder. Yeah, Deontay Wilder was landing them right hands in the second fight, but they had no effect. Why? Because Fury was backing away, he was rolling with them, and he was putting his shoulder in the way, and he was too far out.
Yeah.
So he was hitting them, but it had no effect.
Yeah, they were too far out. He was stretching into them shots, leaning into the shots. There was no snap behind him. They were sort of like arm punches, if you catch my drift. The way he was lunging into them shots. So there's nothing there. Really.
Easy to see, telegraphed, easy to see. Desperate.
Gassiev
hits hard. Whether you rate I don't really rate Gassiev that high.
Dude, let me get 2 words off, Sam. I'm just saying. Okay, Gassiev hits hard, but he has a 68% knockout ratio at fucking cruiserweight. We talking Anthony Joshua's up in the 90s at heavyweight, and then we're saying that Usyk has never been put down at cruiserweight, where Joshua's been put down at heavyweight. I mean, dog, it's not. If this was the comparisons with Usyk and his performances and what goes on at heavyweight, it's still a class above. I'm not ignoring all this.
Yeah, but the thing is, I could also say David Hay as a cruiserweight champion, right? Got as a cruiserweight, got knocked out by Cole Thompson, who's not a massive puncher himself. He's a big puncher, not a massive. But yet Klitschko couldn't get rid of David Haye, so it goes both ways.
Yeah, boxing. Like, look, bigger doesn't mean better.
Exactly.
Bigger doesn't mean better because if
exactly.
that was the case,
bigger punches, just because you're a bigger puncher than the other guy, I don't mean the other guy. I've seen it time and time again when a big puncher will go in with someone and struggle. Yeah, a guy goes in there that's not classed as a big puncher, will stop the guy. Do you know what I mean? It's just
and I heard people say that. I'm going to bring it to Lomachenko real quick. Someone said that Lomachenko is getting hit more now at 135. Well, I don't know if people realize he's more aggressive at 135 pounds, and he's fighting better competition. Okay, so when you take the combination, you're going to get hit, but he's still dominating these guys. That's the key.
They're all running, bro. They're all running from him. This reminds me of Pacquiao.
Yeah, they're running.
When he moved up to 147. They're like, oh, he's too little, but all of them started running away from him.
Beware, there's a lot of boxing casuals that are inundating the net with triangle theories nowadays. That shit don't work. It never has, man.
It's funny how we get up here and say Crawford's not invincible. Now we talking about fucking Lomachenko like he's invincible.
No,
can I say
nobody's invincible. Listen,
he's
in a fight,
invincible.
Wait, D. In a fight, nobody's invincible. You can get fucking cracked with something, and that's it. You can't recover. What I'm trying to say is, boxing, in the sport of boxing, skills usually win. They win the fight. So, a guy like Usyk and Lomachenko and other guys that got great skills, they win on boxing skills. They can go up in weight classes and be better than the guys that are naturally bigger than them. They can overcome that guy is 30 pounds heavier than me, and maybe with one punch he hits much harder than I do. But that's part of boxing. That's always happened. Evander Holyfield, who was a cruiserweight, went up to heavyweight, and let's face it, look at the dudes that knocked him out. They were much bigger than him. Riddick Bowe, he was beating the shit out of Riddick Bowe until he just got a little too careless and got caught with something and got knocked out.
Yeah. Hey, Recognize.
Hey,
what's up, partner? I just wanted to say, man, good to hear your voice, dude. Man, I was worried about you. Nobody heard from you, but I just want to say, just can I just jump in real quick? Are you sick too? You're in hiding, you fucking sneaky bastard. I was looking out my window, saying he's dropping by. No, but Usyk too. Listen, that dude's been bought. Listen, he's a trained fighter. You know what I mean? Like Lomachenko and Usyk. He's not out there because, like someone like Wilder, that's all he had was his knockout, was his power. So that's obviously what he was looking to do the minute he stepped between the ropes. True fighters, and Usyk is a special talent. I try not to like him because his haircut creeped me out, but fucking dude, there's no denying that dude's a special talent. In a fighter like him, you'll hear the one thing that'll always be said: if the knockout comes, it comes. He's a fighter, but he hits hard. Make no mistake about it. That dude hits hard, and he hits hard enough to put out any heavyweight today. And his talent, his footwork, he's elusive. And if the knockout comes, it comes. He's just not the type of dude. And neither is Loma to go it. Although Loma now he realizes to get the fans, he's getting that age. But yeah, so that's the reason why I don't hold too much into who he was knocking out a cruiserweight, because just letting the knockouts come, he took out some fucking big names too. But anyways, that's my 2 cents, man. Recognize, awesome to hear you.
Definitely, Jimmy.
Yeah, I like the Holyfield Riddick Bowe comparison because the size difference between Riddick Bowe and Holyfield is less than the size, reach, height difference than Joshua and Usyk. It's actually less. So if
it's less, right? Like what?
Riddick Bowe is hold on. It's less, which means it's a bigger difference between fucking Joshua and Usyk. So I'm just saying, just by that example, okay, Holyfield went in there and he was doing all of that, and pow, he gets knocked out.
Yeah, the reason why I brought that up, if you look, like Evander Holyfield, he was a skilled fighter, but he wasn't like backing up. He's straightforward. He basically comes at you. He knows how to slip a couple of punches here and there, but he's coming straight forward, and he proved, right? I mean, look, we know the motherfucker was on steroids, like a motherfucker, but doesn't change the fact that he was outweighed, and by this guy who had much like at least 3 inches in height over him, and definitely some arm reach. Like Riddick Bowe's arm reach was pretty long. So anyway, what I'm saying is that just automatically off the top, you can't at least I don't do that. I don't say the bigger the weight class, the better the fighters are, because it's been proven many times by very good boxers that they go up in weight and they, the bigness doesn't matter. They end up winning. Floyd Mayweather, Oscar De La Hoya. I remember going into that fight. They're like, Floyd is too little. As soon as he gets cracked, he's gonna go to sleep. And I'm like, well, not necessarily. Remember, I mean, when was the last time somebody really cracked Floyd? How many times really somebody hit him and he got dropped? Oh, but those are little dudes. The bigger guys are just better. It's like it doesn't work that way.
Well,
that's an illogical comparison.
Which one happens more? Because see, with that example, the little guy gets beat more than the thing is with these guys coming up in weight. The common thing is not for them to win. That's not the common thing. It takes this special fighter to do that shit. What generally happens more is the size is too much.
You don't think Usyk is a special fighter? You don't think Usyk is a
I didn't say that. I said I'm just talking about his example. Look what happens when these guys go up. I'm just saying what generally happens more is the smaller guy loses, not the smaller guy fucking wins.
Right. Right. But is Usyk a special fighter though?
Yeah, he's special. He brings something like Manny Pacquiao to the table when it comes to like the size.
So whatever happens with like regular fighters,
bro, y'all giving Usyk that shit with 17 fucking fights? Come on with that shit. We don't know how special he is. Let's get in the ring with fucking Dutch's on. He got 17 fucking fights. Let's be real.
You don't know how special he is. No, D, you gotta ridiculous, bro.
One at a time, bro. One at a time. Besides, go ahead.
Come on, man, D. Speak for yourself, man. Like I think it's a little bit rude to say we when you're talking about yourself. You can have your own opinion, and I'm gonna respect that. But when I got my own opinion, don't tell me what I know, what I don't know. No, I know he's special. That's my opinion. I could be wrong, and I'll give you all the props in the world if AJ wins or Teofimo wins. But it ain't happening. And look, you can look at Holyfield. I'm just gonna throw that out there, and then I gotta go. You can compare Holyfield to Bo, but Holyfield was right up in your face. He felt like a black Mexican, basically. I think a better stylistic comparison, if you want to have the right stylistic comparison, look at Manny Pacquiao and Oscar De La Hoya. That's a perfect stylistic comparison. Anyway, I got a jet, man. You guys have a great show. Nice talking to all of you. Cool, Frank, and I'll check with you guys at a later date. Thanks for having me.
Good to hear from you, Precise.
Peace, Precise.
Yeah, thanks for coming on, Precise.
Peace out, Precise. Peace out.
Good time.
All I was saying was this, we've seen enough of Manny Pacquiao to make that assessment. I can't make that fucking assessment in 17 fucking fights, bro. Manny.
Yeah, but D, I mean, look. I'm gonna say that. D, let's go through these 17 fights. I mean, you've got all these fights. Most of them world title fights as well, away from home against very good opponents. Gassiev in Russia, Bradus in Latvia, Bellew in the UK. You've got the list goes on.
Glowacki
in Poland. You've got these are all like world class fighters. He's going to their backyards and doing the number on him. So I mean, let's be real. Look what Joshua's been fed guys at home constantly on a platter, here, there, everywhere. The minute he goes to America, he's fucking all over the place. Embarrasses the country. So
quality, not quantity.
Hold on. I just heard during the Dillian White fight, every motherfucker praised what Alexander Povetkin was. Now we just going to shit on everybody Joshua fought. Come on with this bullshit.
Povetkin.
Hold on. Let me go. Everybody, and I heard you, Sue, and a lot of you guys give praise to the fucking type of fighter Alexander Povetkin was. Joshua knocks him out in the 7th round. Now we're just going to shit on the people he fought. Really?
No, but look, Povetkin's a good way to shit on his opponents.
Povetkin's a good way, but let's be real. Let's be real here, right? Let's be here. Look at Povetkin. We've got to break it down, Povetkin. Right? That was a very good win for AJ because Povetkin's only ever been beat once before. But Dillian White was piecing this guy up, and Dillian White is so limited in skills. right? It was quite a shock to see because Povetkin in his prime would have steamrolled Dillian White. So, and I agree, and I think Joshua fought a lot better Povetkin than Dillian White did. But Povetkin's old age showed when he fought Joshua, even. I mean, he just got look how slow he was in there. And Joshua, it suited him to the ground. The slow guy plodding forward, easy work. Even then, he got his nose fucking broke. So,
yeah.
Stu, I'll be honest, Stu, against Dillian White, in those first few rounds, I thought he looked completely shot. His legs were gone. There was no bounce in his knees. Do you know what I mean? He looked shot to me.
He did.
But you know what was? Povetkin wasn't Delboy. If you look at Povetkin when he got dropped in the fourth, I think it was the fourth round.
Yeah.
He was never really hurt. That's the one thing I noticed. I was like, he's not hurt. He just got dropped.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Face. And then next thing you know, out of nowhere, he fucking does that beautiful lead left counter uppercut on him. Boom.
He does.
It was just unbelievable. Now, to D. Jefferson's point, like, look, when it comes to Anthony Joshua, you can say he has one of the best resumes in the heavyweight division right now. He does have good fighters. His
exactly, bro. Now we're gonna shit on his resume because
let me finish it. No, listen.
No, but my point was, because I didn't shit on his resume. I said he was giving a lot of fighters at home as cannon fodder for him. Where Usyk had to go away from home.
Hey, Stu, let me make this one point, just really quick.
Go ahead, bro.
The only, you see, when it comes to resume, I don't question his resume. I think his resume is good. It's one of the best in the heavyweight division. Now, when it comes to his flaws, is what gives me concern against Usyk, and that's why I give Usyk a huge shot to beat him. Now, would I be shocked if Anthony Joshua chin checks Usyk and he wins the fight? Maybe if he's like laid out and he's like snorkeling, sleeping, I'll be like, wow, that was a fucking devastating knockout. But I wouldn't be that shocked because you're talking about a guy who weighs 250 pounds. He's 6'6". You know what I'm saying? He's a big, muscled up dude. He's a little bit robotic, but he could let his fucking punches go. He could let more than one or two punches go. So I wouldn't be that shocked. His flaws is what gives me is what's giving me concern against a guy like Usyk.
Same here. That's my problem, Josh. It's not his resume. He has a much better resume than Wilder and Fury.
Yeah, I think so too.
I think so. I'm not knocking the resume at all. But you started criticizing Usyk's resume, who for me, I mean, it's up there with the top fighters in the world for resumes. I mean, you just got to wear these places well.
I said I can't assess all of this off of 17 fights. I didn't say anything about his resume.
Well, probably didn't say it like that. Then. Well, that probably means that. Yeah, but if you haven't seen enough from Usyk yet, I don't know what to say to you. I'm not sure. I know you're unsure how he's going to take a punch in the heavyweight division. I get that. So am I.
That's my big question. That's my big question.
Yeah.
I can't.
Listen, mate. You could be right, brother. You could be right, but we're going on what we've seen so far, and a few of us here think he'll be all right. He'll be all right. I don't think the jump to cruiserweight to heavyweight is as big as a lot of people think. Look at Michael Hunter. He was like an okay cruiserweight, goes up to heavyweight. He's beaten every fucker, even beat Povetkin in most people's eyes. And this is like a guy who's... It
was a close fight.
Usyk nearly killed the guy. Do you know what I mean? So look, if Michael Hunter can go to the heavyweight division and hold his own, Usyk can. That's the way I'm looking at things.
Because if we go by resumes, the same thing could be said about Teofimo Lopez. His resume is not as good as and the accolades that Lomachenko has, two-time gold medalist and all those.
Gonzalo, you need to get closer to your mic, bro. Gonzalo, we can't hear you. Get closer to your mic.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, go ahead now. You get closer to your mic, Gonzalo. That's all. I couldn't hear you, mate. Gonzalo.
Yeah, I'm plugging in.
Go ahead, brother.
I'm plugging in my headphones. Yeah, all right. I gotta get a good pair of headphones because I got these fucking big ones. Yeah, the same thing. If we go by resumes, the same thing could be said about Teofimo Lopez. It doesn't compare against a three-time world champion and Lomachenko, two-time gold medalist, because to me, Teofimo is really improved. So we can always go by resumes. We can't. Sometimes you have to take the leap of faith and say, I see something that this fighter brings to the table, especially in the stylistic matchup, where you know that two guys are good.
Yeah, man. The fight's one on paper. Yeah.
Yeah, look, Floyd Mayweather had an average resume at once. There's always at the end of the day, resumes don't mean nothing. They don't. Obviously, when you're comparing, doing pound for pound lists, and obviously, and sometimes when you're putting them in the greats, yeah, if they haven't fought anyone, they're not going to be ready. Of course, that. But a lot of times, you see a guy that's not really got much on his record, but he comes in and gives a world class performance against a good fighter, and that sort of like gives him the kick up the arse he needs, and he goes on from there. So, I don't really
exactly. Teofimo Lopez, thank you.
Teofimo could be that guy, or just needs one good shot. Look, if he catches Lomachenko clean, he's going to sleep. But the problem
is, if he catches Lomachenko coming forward, no movement, it's like kind of in a straight line, and he catches him with that pull overhand right, he could hurt him.
Yeah.
But I would favor Lomachenko. I would favor Lomachenko heavily. Go ahead, Joe.
All I was saying with Teofimo is the guy's a good counter puncher, but can this guy create his own openings? I've not seen him do that.
I haven't seen him do it.
If Lomachenko is switched on, he's going to absolutely school this dude. First 6 rounds, First 6 rounds, nothing much is going to happen. Teofimo is going to be biting on every single feint. Before he knows it, after 5 or 6 rounds, he's going to be 5-6 rounds down. After that, he gets desperate, then he gets beat up down the stretch.
Everyone that's caused Lomachenko problems in this, everyone that's caused Lomachenko problems recently have been guys with good straight punches, long arms, and a boxing IQ like Campbell, Linares, Pedraza, them sort of people, world-class fighters with good world-class straight punches. That's what Lomachenko's struggling with at the moment because he's too small at 135. He's having to find his way in to get his workout off. And that's when he's getting caught with big shots. Lopez doesn't bring that sort of ammunition. Lopez is more like a brawler, a hooker. Do you know what I mean? I think Lomachenko, the telegraph shots, he's going to see them all day. It's the straight punches down the pipe that he's struggling with when he's trying to get inside.
Especially when he's just straight coming forward. Yep.
And after the 6th round, he's going to get frustrated, maybe like he did against Nakatani based on his inexperience because he's still a young fighter. And Lomachenko seasoned, and just to add to that, the fact that he's cutting all that weight, even though he's young, he's gonna start depleting himself. And as we all like to, as we all can recognize in Lomachenko, he likes to drown fighters late in fights. And just to add to the fact that he's got asthma, it just makes me believe that Lomachenko.
Yeah, you see, I didn't even know Teofimo had asthma. Look, that isn't. Listen, I've met dudes with asthma, and these guys
fucking basketball players and football players.
Yeah. You're right. Exactly. D. I know guys that like. But here's the thing: what Lomachenko has to do is be his nightmare in that fight. Keep overloading his brain, his inexperienced brain. That's all you got to do. And this is boxing. I've been saying this for the longest time. If I fought a guy with a big nose, with the bone sticking out, yes, brother, I'm going for that nose.
Teofimo got a big nose, huh?
Yeah, I'm going for that nose. It's boxing. I don't care what anybody says. Oh, that's me. Yo, I'm trying to break it so that way you can have a hard time breathing. And you drown. You start drowning.
I know exactly what you're saying. Recognise. It was a bit like I've said this before on the show. It's a bit like when Chocolatito fought Kell Yafai, where they just overwhelmed him with work rate and movement and feints, with throwaway shots and a big woman coming from behind. He just didn't know where he was. He just had no time to breathe, and the fighters just fall to pieces. It's like when you've got so much going on. You sort of freeze and don't do anything, and that's when you're getting pieced up. And I think that's what could happen. I think mentally, Lomachenko could do this. I said it before, long while before. Teofimo Lopez, his biggest fight on that night is not the punches; it's the mental. It's the mental game.
And he's also been talking a lot, right? He's been talking a lot, and Lomachenko's more seasoned. He's been keeping it more cool and collective. But that's a lot of pressure on Lomachenko. On Teofimo, fucking dog.
Yeah, go ahead, Del. Go ahead, Del boy.
Which fight did you see Teofimo feeding into a lot of feints, Del boy? Because you say he's just going to get in there and feed into a lot of feints. Which fight did you see Teofimo in there? He was just falling for a bunch of feints. Which fight?
In terms of that's what I think is going to happen. But in terms of creating his own openings, I mean, watch the Nakatani fight. All Nakatani was doing essentially was keeping distance behind solid basic fundamentals. And Teofimo looked extremely average as far as I'm concerned. One-paced, Same thing over and over again. No adjustments. What you're going to see against Lomachenko is what you call paralysis by analysis. He is going to be fighting on everything in the first 5-6 rounds, and he's not going to be doing nothing in the process. Loma's going to be 5-6 rounds up after 6 rounds, and after that, Teo's going to get frustrated. He'll try harder. Then he's going to get pieced up and beat up. That's how I think it's going to go. Honestly,
yeah, I feel you. But I just seen the dimensions of the kid, 6 foot tall, arm race, and all of that. I think that was the difficulty to getting in. The difficulty you're talking about him getting in with Lomachenko.
That's true. That is very true.
Hold on, let me finish. There is going to be difficulties. Well, we're not talking the same thing. Fucking Nakatani was 6 foot tall. He had pop. Let's know that he had pop. And keeping the range, yeah, if you got that much fucking height and reach, might be an easier job to keep the range. I'm just saying.
That's true. That is true, D. But what Nakatani had was a rudimentary style. He wasn't doing anything special. I mean, if you're struggling to get past that, then in past someone like Lomachenko's feints, the movement, the angles, the level changes, all of this. I mean, I've not seen his ability to adjust like that. Do you know what I mean? I've not seen it. I think he's got the power maybe to catch him with one big shot. Yeah, cool. But I think that's all he has. Honestly, that's all he's got.
How much have you seen of him? Because I'm saying you're saying a lot of things of all he's got, and he's going to fall for feints, and he's just going to do this. So how much have you actually seen of Teofimo? Be honest.
I think since he fought a guy called Silva, like William Silva, something like that. Since that fight.
Okay. Gotcha.
Maybe like since his 8th fight, something like that.
Yeah, but the thing is, you shouldn't need 8 fights to work a fighter out. I can usually watch a fighter once or twice, know what sort of fighter he is, know what his attributes are. You just see it straight away. But you don't really need to see 8 fights or 10 fights to see where someone is. You can see a talent coming through. It's when they get to the top. It's when they get to the top. It's whether they're good enough at that level, and that's just guesswork, isn't it? Of course it is.
Yeah, I think he is talented, by the way. I just think it's too soon, to be honest.
Yeah. Well, look, I think just like I said, the mental warfare will probably get to him in the end. I just, like I said, he's never been in there with anyone that's going to give him them sort of problems, and that's the problem. When you're fighting cannon fodder, when you start stepping up to the world elite levels, you're just not ready sometimes. But hey, boxing's boxing.
It's great.
All it takes is one shot.
I remember BL, Mark, Johnny Boy, all of these people saying, Comey, a lot of people, Comey gonna knock the kid out. I remember this same song and dance about the Comey. It's too early. He's gonna get knocked out by Comey. Comey's gonna do the kid in. He ate 2 of Comey's best shot and knocked him the fuck out. Yeah. So we're just gonna have to see.
Yeah, Comey's not Lomachenko, though, is he? Comey's not Lomachenko, though.
I know he's not Lomachenko. I'm saying I heard the same song and dance.
Yeah, look, you got them there. Look, you got them there. A lot of people said Comey would win that. I don't think Johnny did. I think Johnny actually said Teofimo would knock Comey out. I think.
I picked Mark because Mark came on my damn chat trolling me saying your boy is going to get knocked out. A lot of people, he doesn't have the experience. He hasn't done nothing. Comey's a fucking champion. He fought this guy and blah, 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 blah.
Yeah. Well,
I picked Lopez by knockout. I picked Lopez by knockout. I was going to say I picked Lopez by knockout in that fight. I thought he was going to take him out in 4th round. That was my pick.
Yeah.
I picked Lopez in the 4th round. That's how much I thought he was going to knock him out.
He's right. A few lads on the BDA did have Comey winning. That's all.
Yeah, quite a few people picked Lopez to knock him out because, I mean, look with the punch that he ultimately caught him with. It's his bread and butter. That's what he wants. You don't give him that, he has to create punches, and I think that's going to be his problem. You know what this fight kind of reminds me of? But obviously they're 2 different fighters. I have a feeling this is going to be Trinidad Vargas. Teo's going to be Vargas. I have a feeling that this is because that kid is. Look, he talks a good game. We got to see him in trouble. I think you're going to have to kill him to knock him out, to stop him, to win. And there's those guys where you tell them you're going to have to kill me to beat you, and that guy shakes his head. No problem. I have no problem doing that. I will kill you if I have to win this fight. And I think that the experience of Lomachenko, his skills, as in compared to Teofimo, who I see as a kid who has a lot of heart and a good punch, I just think that it's too much for him to overcome at this age.
Well, think again, because Teofimo is gonna knock Lomachenko out.
Hey D, if that happens, I'm gonna be like, yo, shout out to D. I'm gonna go on your channel and give you a shout out, drop a super chat and all that stuff. Shout out to the man.
Look, to be fair, when Povetkin knocked out Dillian White, the guys that come here and had White when he came on and said what a good shot, it was giving Povetkin their credit. There's no hiding on this show. At the end of the day, boxing's there's two guys to pick. Sometimes you pick the right one, sometimes you don't. You know, that's what it is with boxing. But look, Teofimo's a good lad. He's a real good kid, and he's going to be a real top fighter when he matures.
He's definitely
he's very green, like I said, and green's just not. Green is the last thing you need to be when you're in there with Lomachenko. It's just not going to work for you if you're green. You've got to be a schooled. Look, Campbell giving problems, but Campbell, gold medalist, Olympic gold medalist. Linares has fought all over the world, champions, different weight divisions, fought the best. That's he's a fucking seasoned pro, world class fighter. Pedraza as well, tough Mexican, world class fighter at the time. All right, he got destroyed by a tank, but he was weight drained at the time. But look. They're the sort of guys that will jump in Lomachenko. What?
I said I thought resume didn't matter.
Well, what I'm saying, it doesn't matter when you do, because it's when the bell rings, resume's not going to win you a fight. That's my point. But I'm just saying that. Yeah, no, that's my point. Resumes will not win you a fight.
Yeah, it's like
my point was Lomachenko. The guys that have caused Lomachenko problems, and are seasoned pros with amateur backgrounds and fucking who've been all over the world. They've been there, seen it, done it all. Lopez has been in with nowhere near that sort of level. So I mean, Comey's not going to prepare you for Lomachenko. I don't know what it is. Let's be real. No one is. But
they're gonna prepare you for Lomachenko.
Yeah, of course, no one's going to prepare you for Lomachenko. I just think
never been
he's not ready.
With a fighter that hit his hard and as explosive as Teofimo. Give me
one
fighter
the thing
that hit his hard and as explosive as Teofimo.
No, he hits hard. No, look, big punches have never really troubled Lomachenko. I mean, have they even caught him? How many times did Walters land? How many times? I mean, listen, real. Sosa's a big puncher. Didn't land all night.
Walters could crack.
Rocky Martinez, decent puncher. Didn't land all night. I mean, even Salido, 147 pounds, never rocked him once. I mean, look, being a big puncher is not enough. It's just not enough with that guy. He don't care for big punches. You got to land on the guy.
You got the body, that torso don't move. Teofimo, really good body puncher. That's how he got Magdaleno out there. Put it to the body, feint it to the body, came upstairs, put him away.
Yeah, of course, mate.
Dangerous to punch somebody like Lomachenko in the body, especially if you lead with that punch.
Yeah,
somebody with that many rounds under his belt, somebody who's fought more fucking current or ex-world champions in the first 15 fights of his career. No other fighter in the history of the sport has done that. So I understand the resumes, and it's true. They don't win fights, but his resume is something to be fucking looked at in like fucking, I don't care what anybody says. That's insane. And I didn't even realize that until Stephen Edwards tweeted it out. He said, I see these people picking this and saying that. And then he just laid it out. He said 13 of his first 14 fights were against either current or ex-world champions. He said no fighter in the history of the sport has even come close to that in his first 14 pro fights. He said, so I end it there. And that's how he ended his tweet. And I'm like, yeah, that's pretty much a mic drop. I mean, his talent level, to be able to think somebody's going to be able to sneak off a body shot without working it downstairs first. Because, I mean, Lopez is good with those quick shots. And Lopez, listen, I'm big on Lopez. I had him taking Comey out in the 4th round. I just think he's a little too green. His only thing he has is his knockout. There's nothing stylistically he's going to be able to do that Lomachenko hasn't seen or worked for or tried to get against 100 times over the last 20 years. I'm just saying, you know what I mean? Just the strength. It's his power. That's his game.
Yeah, of course,
with,
man. Of
Lopez.
Course. And it's another thing where Lopez them big shots he loads up on. I mean, when you load up on a shot, you sort of can't help but telegraph it at times. And Lomachenko,
he don't hold on, man. He don't load up a lot. Dude, watch Scott now. Come on with that. He's not like no fucking Rolly Romero. He doesn't load up. He comes with those quick check hooks and it's quick.
That shot he knocked Kobe up. Are you telling me he didn't load up on that shot?
But Kobe was wide open. He should have loaded up on that. Kobe was wide open. He should load up when you see it like that.
What?
Bro.
That's not the question I asked.
That one,
yes, but what my point is, you're saying he don't load up on his shots, and then you just admitted that he did. But it's when Kobe.
No,
that's what I'm trying to
say. Okay. Well, let me rephrase, Stu. That's not how he fights. Yeah, he did it against Kobe, but he's not like again. Rolly Romero. Every goddamn fight he loads up on this shot. That's not Teofimo. That's what I'm saying.
But the thing is, Teofimo is going to go. He's going in there, knowing deep down that he's not going to win this on the card. So Teofimo is going to go in there with a game plan, I think, to get Lomachenko early. And I think he's going to load up on his shots. He's going to throw a lot of power. Lomachenko is going to be under some fire early on. And that's the way I see it. And I think a guy like Lomachenko, he's going to see them sort of shots coming. I agree with what the other guy said. Del Boy, you still there?
Yeah, no, still. I was about to say, if Teofimo does what you say and he's going to load up early on, if he misses, he's fucked because that guy is struggling to make weight.
Exactly.
He is struggling to make weight badly. I mean, he's admitted it himself.
And that's what tells me.
Hold on. Where you get that from, Del Boy? Because I'm going to tell you something right quick. I'm going to tell you this shit right now and everybody knows it's no lie. I talked to Teofimo Sr. on the regular, so I want to know what is your fucking source? Where the fuck are you getting this that he's struggling to make weight? Where are you getting that from?
He said he walks around at like 160, 165 pounds.
Where are you getting the facts that he's struggling to make weight? Where are you getting that?
I think it's known. I think it's known all over the boxing world.
Total bullshit. That's total bullshit because I've talked to him.
Well, do you remember Teofimo saying that?
Hold on. I'm giving you guys a source.
Big for that.
It's what? Did he fight 140 or something?
Let me talk here. Now, you guys are assuming shit. Every fucking one of you because of his size and all of this. But I've spoken about this shit on my live before. Some fighters can naturally cut weight easier. I'm not saying who can or who's not. But one thing I'm saying is I have a fucking source. I have a true source that said he's not struggling to make a motherfucking thing.
His father's your
No. Yeah. Okay, his father is his trainer.
His father's
okay. Hold on. His father's his trainer, and he said, "Listen, bro. All of these people out here talking about he's struggling to make weight. He's struggling. They don't know what they fucking talking about. Now, I'm gonna take his father's word than y'all fucking assumption because y'all don't know what y'all talking about. That's a fact.
Look, first of all, I never mentioned the weight thing, but from Teofimo's mouth, he did say one time that he was getting too big for that weight class. Okay, that I will say. Now, second, his father's never going to tell you that there's a problem. You don't do that. You don't do that if you're smart. You don't give anybody any inclination that you don't confirm any rumors. Okay, and it might be false.
Yeah. You know what? It doesn't matter. Like it didn't have to be like to where he struggled. The fact that he was busting at the seams at 140, meaning like later, just later on in the fight, from like the 9th to the 12th round, he's gonna start depleting a little bit, just a little bit at least. And we know that Lomachenko lets the ground fighters late. Go ahead, Bergeners.
And everybody knows.
Did you ask his father that question? Did you ask him directly about the weight issue?
I most certainly did, and it's right on my motherfucking live. When he was
just asking,
my motherfucking life.
Yes, right, sir, but his father's a smart man. He's not gonna fucking tell you if that's true or not anyway. Why would he do that? Why would he do that?
But
I'm just saying, man, you guys got a whole lot of assumptions. Teofimo's gonna do this. His father's not gonna do this. His father's not gonna do that. You guys are fucking Nostradamus right now.
The assumption comes from Teofimo himself, who said he's getting too big for this weight class.
Thank you. I was about to say he said it himself on more than one time.
Yeah,
on more than one occasion.
Okay, they spoke on that and they said, I'm gonna tell you what else. I spoke to him about this and he said this simply. What they're doing, this is the fight that they're here for. And they're going to 140 after this fight.
Well, okay, but
that doesn't mean that don't mean he's struggling to make weight. That's an assumption that he's struggling right now.
That does mean. Hang on a minute. That does mean he's struggling to lose weight because that's basically saying to me, "This is my last hurrah at 135." Can you imagine if he beats Lomachenko? Are you telling me he's going to throw them belts away, go up to 140?
Well,
no, he has to because he can't make the weight anymore. This is his last hurrah. This is his big chance to make it to the top because he beats Lomachenko. He's going to rise to the top.
Can you imagine your own father confirming a rumor?
Well,
No,
I'm gonna get the.
Hold on, guys. Stu just asked me a question. Let me respond. Okay, just give me a second. It wasn't because it's his last hurrah. It's because they're not going to sit down there and struggle to make weight. They're going to transition to 140 comfortably. Why sit down there too long is what they're saying. It's not like he has to go. It's like, why sit down there too long?
That tells me he's struggling there.
Hold on. I'm getting ready to fight. Hold on, bro. Hold on. I'm getting ready to fight Lomachenko. There is nothing better. So why even sit down there and fuck around, like pull an Errol Spence and stay at a weight class you don't need to be in? That was the key to it, not just, oh, this is my last hurrah, I can't make it no more.
You don't move up. It's like Craig's in the chat says, why move up if you're like the unified champion and you can make weight easy? It just doesn't make sense. Fighters don't move. Listen, let me finish, dear. I'll let you finish. Fighters don't move up because they want to. They move up because they have to. And that's where I am with Teofimo right now.
Well, I just got the text. I just got the text right now. Ego Haymanites or whatever. He's going to send me the clip. It's been said that he knows of at least 2 times, and he said it after one of the fights when he had a kind of a shitty performance. And his father said it that night too, that he was busting at the weight and having, you know what I mean? It's becoming an issue. And he said, then he said in the tweet, I got to fucking hire a nutritionist type shit. He's saying I got to take it more serious, getting harder and harder. But all I'm saying, D, I don't know why you kind of got really aggravated. It wasn't me. I didn't talk about his weight, although I have in past shows. But you came out and just said, all you guys are acting like you know what you're talking about, but you don't have no fucking idea what you're talking about. That was pretty aggressive when he's on record saying it. And then right at the end of it, you say, well, he's going to leave this weight class. I mean, that was kind of fucked up. And then at the end of it all, you say, well, he's moving up anyways because he can't make weight anymore. I mean, he said it himself numerous times. He kills himself to make weight. So that was just really aggressive, man.
Hey, Jimmy, I'm from the New York area. I know people from around where he lives, and they said, yo, that boy is stocky. He's a little short, considering short, meaning, the guys that I know, the guy that I'm talking about is over 6 feet tall. So, that 5'8" or whatever the fuck he is short. But he's like, yo, he's a short, stocky dude.
Yeah. And look, you don't have to be...
Stocky is a guy when he's, let's say, 5'7", 5'8", you're pushing around 160 or better.
Yeah, like Danny Garcia, maybe Canelo, just slightly bigger. Look, you don't have to be struggling to make the weight to not be the same in the later rounds. Maybe at 140, Teofimo's just stronger. Like from the 9th to the 12th, his conditioning is better because he doesn't have to drop all that weight. He's young. Yeah, he can make the weight.
Yeah,
he
but then when he moves up,
struggling. He's going to be
when he moves up, Gonzalo, though, then he's fighting. When he moves up, he's fighting bigger guys than him.
Yeah, but
bigger guy. And let's be real.
In reference to 135, I don't think he's struggling because he's young. He can make it, but doesn't mean that maybe at 140 it suits him better. But there's a lot of monsters at 140. That's what I'm saying.
This is the problem. You help yourself when you go up a division. Obviously, it makes you feel a lot stronger, a lot fresher. But you lose attributes that got you wins in the division before. So you're going up against a guy he's the bigger guy now. You're not the bigger guy anymore. He is.
That's a different topic in itself. That's a different
of course it is.
Yeah, there's a lot of monsters, and that's an interesting division, by the way. Yeah.
It'll be even more interesting if Teofimo goes up there. But we're talking about the Lomachenko fight, and I don't know where these guys saying that he's not struggling at the weight when I think it's clear to the whole world that he is. He made it clear. And the fact that this is his last fight at 135 tells me it's clear. Because why would you... Look, he's got big fights there. He can fight Tank. He can fight them sort of fights in America. There's big fights over there for him, right? I just don't see the point of him going up to 140 in a monsters division. Let's be real. There's some real top guys in that division.
Okay, because if you beat Lomachenko, what's fucking left at 135? That's my whole point. Like, if you beat Lomachenko,
you telling me you want him to win? Yeah, but you telling me you want him to? You telling me you want him to win the belts, not even defend them once?
There's a future. All the futures. Ryan Garcia. Look, Ryan Garcia.
I'm not telling you what I'm saying. Listen. He said, "This is what Senior said." After
because they can't. They know they can't make the weight no more.
Okay. No, he said after they win those belts, they want to go up to try to see if they can get the winner of Ramirez and Taylor immediately before they move on. So it's to accomplish at 135 and then go right up because he'll have that WBO and WBC status to challenge whoever wins that fight right away. That's exactly what they want to do. And I don't see sticking around at fucking 135 if you can make that transition and get that fight.
No, I agree. No, but I agree. But my point is, with fighters, they only go up when they have to, and they got no choice to because they can't make weight.
They go up because there's a lot of money.
A lot of money to be made.
Trying to get 4 belts, like I just explained. That's what he said the plan was, and that's why they would be shooting right up because Josh Taylor and Jose Ramirez expressed wanting to move to 147.
Well, that young boy.
If he completes with Lomachenko, they want to go up there and challenge them before they move.
But why can that be for like the both reasons? Because he's struggling and because he wants to get the belt.
It could be. For you to say, I was just saying what I heard. It could be. Y'all could be right. I just said
for you to say that there's nobody at 35. 35 stacked in itself. There's a lot of like.
Tank Davis.
There was nobody better than Loma, fam. Like once you beat Loma, what's the point? Why not go up and challenge the 4-belt champion there? That's what I said, bro. That's exactly what I said.
Yeah,
and if you beat Lomachenko, fuck Tank Davis, fuck all the rest, fuck Devin Haney, you beat Lomachenko.
Look, I follow YouTube because I got the extra time here in the Philippines. I've been hearing the same thing too for like the last 2 years. Teofimo been struggling, and it can't get any better with 2 years.
But anyway, we heard the same thing about Spence 4 years ago, and 4 years later, he's still at 147. Keep it real.
Yeah, and he struggled against Mikey Garcia. Couldn't knock him out.
And he's taking substances to help him lose the weight. Let's just keep things real around.
Yeah, but I do. But dude, come on, dude. Come on. Don't tell me you do that.
Most athletes take this shit.
Come on, man. You shouldn't do that. You should never like say, well, this athlete can do it this way. But they've been saying that about Spence. Yes, they have definitely been saying it, but that's Spence. And I don't know, man. Once they use it as an excuse for why they have an off night. And one of those couple of fights back when he looked like shit, and he looked like shit. That was his thing. Bad weight cut, struggling to make the weight. And it was a known secret. I mean, it was known. I mean, I think Steve Kim even mentioned it. Actually, he's actually wrote about it a few times that it's, it's one of those worst kept secrets in boxing that he's not having a hard time. And if he's going to win all those belts, think about it. Why would he leave them to go up to a weight class and make probably half the money he would make if he stayed at 135 and defended those belts on the A side? It just doesn't make sense.
Hey, Devin Haney.
Crawford, he's gone, fam. As soon as he beats Crawford, I guarantee he's fucking gone right to 154.
Yeah,
that's if he ever fights Crawford. I don't know.
I don't think he beats Crawford. He's got a tough fight with Danny Garcia, man. If somebody's going to test his conditioning, dropping down from 190, 200 pounds, down back to the 47 division, it's going to be Danny Garcia because he ain't getting rid of him.
Danny will go in there, go through the motions, get his ass whooped, collect his paycheck, and go fucking perv over his sister or something. I don't know, man.
It'll go 12 rounds. He's not going to start Grand Night Danny Garcia.
Danny's a strong kid, but look, Errol could take the fight to you as well. And when you take the fight to Danny Garcia, he falls to pieces. I don't want to keep mentioning Judah and all these other guys. Lamont Peterson looked like Marvin Hagler in there that night, didn't he? He looked like fucking Marvin Hagler in there. So look, I see Spence doing a number.
Fighting at his natural weight.
But Danny just can't take. Danny can't take being pushed back. He can't fight on the back foot, and he doesn't take pressure very well. He sort of falls to pieces. I mean, look, he's all right when Zab Judah was prancing around, flicking out the jab, but as soon as Zab Judah, bit on the gum shield and started taking the fight to Danny Garcia, what happened? What happened when Lamont Peterson was going through the motions, losing the first 6 rounds, doing nothing? What happens when Lamont Peterson grits on the gum shield, takes the fight to Danny Garcia? What happened? We saw what happened. Danny Garcia fell to pieces. And that's what's going to happen. Errol Spence is a dog, mate. I don't care. He can box, but when he knows the boxing's not work, he'll take it to the trenches like he did with Kell Brook, getting out boxed at times. As soon as he sat in the pocket.
Sean Porter.
Like he did with Porter. Sat in the pocket and went to war, and he can do that.
To me, that was his best performance because
I
saw him.
And that performance is good enough to beat Danny. That performance has beaten Danny.
He got beat up in that fight. and he kept giving right back. He was getting tagged up. I was like, damn, this dude he's not breaking down.
Yeah, but Errol showed me he's got a lot of fight in him. I mean, like I said, the Kell Brook fight, I saw it that night. I mean, he bit on his gum shield and he was throwing a hell of a lot of shots that night.
If he's that same fighter, he beats Danny Garcia.
Yeah, listen, he steamrolls Garcia. Don't be surprised if he stops Garcia. I know how can he stop Danny if he can't stop Mikey? Mikey can fight on the back foot. Mikey is just a lot better fighter, so surviving. Where Danny, I just think it's not his game. Danny's a very one-pace guy who relies on that left hook counter shot, and when it doesn't work, there's nothing else coming back. He's just terrible.
You got to be careful with Danny because you got him that sneaky
no look like
hook.
No look like hook.
You got to be careful.
No look like
yeah, but fuck's sake, man! Look. That left hook didn't help him when Zab Judah was piecing him up all night. That left hook didn't help him when Lamont Pearson looked like Marvin Hagler. That left hook didn't help him when he robbed Herrera on the cards. That left hook didn't help him when he robbed Ashley Theopone. That left hook didn't help him when he went to war with a fucking 80-year-old Eric Morales in the first one. Eric Morales, come on, man. That left hook.
And Sean Parker ate that same left hook and beat his ass anyway.
That left hook knocked out Rod Solka and Amir Khan. Just say no more.
Oh, shit. Danny Garcia fought Rob Solka? What a fucking cherry picker, man.
You know what? If I can interject,
if
I can interject for one moment, it's Spence, man. He's one of those guys that when you watch him fight, he's a real fight. Like there's nothing else he'd rather be doing in life. He wants to box people, so he's got that fire. The big question, of course, is I think you all know where I'm going with this. Is how much is the car accident going to affect him? Because, okay, forget about any injuries, whatever. But they said that they actually had to put some fake teeth in there. So if Danny Garcia starts hitting that jaw, that's my big question: is how is it going to hold up?
Yeah, and it's a proof. You know something, BDA. It's a scientist. Scientists have proved. It's a scientific fact that when you start losing teeth, your jaw is not as strong as it used to be. And it's like that when you keep getting hit anyway. Like it's
you can't bite down. You can't hold your jaw in place. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's not like when you're younger. When you're younger, everything is like fucking in full form.
You get brittle, dude. We just get brittle when we get old, man. We just crack.
The thing is, though, like I said, when people say, "Oh, Danny won't get stopped. He's got a granite chin," right? But Errol Spence is a far bigger man. Hits far harder than Zab Judah. And Zab Judah was really close to stopping Danny and Lamont Pearson. Danny's eye was all mashed up. He was hanging on for dear life at the end of that fight. Errol if he gets Danny like that, it's over. The thing with Mikey came in there with he was playing the Roadrunner and the Coyote, wasn't he? Do you know what I mean? He just ran all night and with survival mode. You know what I mean? Danny Garcia doesn't have that in the tools. So Danny he's going to have nowhere to hide when Errol starts putting it on him, and Matisse is
a huge puncher. I know that was a prime Matisse, and it's 140 pounds. But believe me, look, I've never been punched by the guy, but he was a big puncher.
Matisse. But the thing when you punch him, he falls over. So I'm not really interested in that guy right now. One of the biggest
Danny could go out cold. Danny could go all cold. People might just not know it because he's not the brightest cat. You know what I mean? I'm just kidding.
When have you ever seen Danny make adjustments, adapt during the fight? It's just the same old Danny doing the same old things.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, listen, like I said, man, if Errol Spence is fine, he wins this fight. He has a good chance of knocking him out. I don't think he will, but. Yeah,
I wouldn't be surprised
if Danny getting caught with flush shots. If he keep getting caught with flush shots by Spence, yeah, he'll go down for sure.
The thing is, people say, people think in the chat they think Danny beat Porter. I don't.
No, I don't. I thought Porter won. I saw that. I watched that fight live. And I thought,
and even with the Furman fight, all right, it was all right, but Furman, I mean. Josesito Lopez had Furman all over the place. So is Furman really, Furman's half the man he used to be. So even then, I mean, look, Danny Garcia, this guy just keeps getting shot after shot after shot, man. What is he? I think he's had more title shots than he's got fucking toes, and I believe he's got 6 toes. So
he's a strong kid, man. He's strong. That's what he's got.
Yeah, he's strong kid. Yeah.
Prodding hooker.
Yeah.
He's just a prodding hooker.
That's
he
right.
is.
You know what I mean? Drags his back foot, really never up on his toes, never snaps his punches. He just fucking dips at the hip, and he tries to land that fucking hook. But it's devastating. Well, it was at 140. I think he left most of that power there. Because all you got to do is look at his KOs since then. Besides, like, Rod Selka, I mean, he hasn't even stopped anybody.
Of course he hasn't. I mean, Danny Garcia's got like a 50% KO ratio. That's nothing special to me. I keep hearing what a great puncher Danny Garcia is. Show me the evidence. I mean, I don't want to see the Amir Khan clip. I don't want to see that. That guy's sleeping on the canvas. That's become the norm recently, so I don't want to see that.
The wind can knock him
who
out.
else?
Well, wasn't that 142 though, brother?
Yeah, I was at 140.
Yeah, it was
exactly.
140. Does it really matter?
That's when I think. Yeah, I think that's when Danny had his power, and that's a big jump. That's 7 pounds, man. That's a big jump, man.
Well, he's fighting at his natural weight class, and he's fighting big guys, and
exactly.
You can't get rid of those guys.
You know? Yeah, this is the thing. This could be Teofimo's problem. Danny looked dangerous at 140, didn't he? Look 147, atrocious. Really is. I mean, look, I just don't get. When Danny Garcia's fighting, I'll fall asleep early. Just the thought of the guy puts me to sleep. You know,
I think that's one of the biggest. That's one of the biggest divisions where you have to jump weight. I think that's like the second or third among the 17 divisions.
Yeah, no,
Danny Garcia was a huge 140 guy. Let's be real, he's huge.
A lot of guys could move up in weight, and the first couple of fights of their career moving up in weight, they could be really elusive. What happens is when you start becoming the naturally, bigger guy, in that weight class, when you start getting, you start like settling into that weight, is when you start getting slower. I noticed that with Manny Pacquiao, right? When Manny Pacquiao first went to 147, he was devastating, and he didn't Go ahead, Stu.
No, listen, I want to see this guy in the chat. He's saying I'm overdoing it with Danny. All right, then, put in the chat. Give me a performance to go back and watch and say that's a world-class performance from Danny Garcia. Just give me one performance to go. And has this guy actually won a big fight he's been in since he's been at 147? He's been in a lot of big fights. I don't remember him winning one of them. That's what I'm saying. I mean, give me something to watch. Because everything I've watched so far has just been... Well, I've not been impressed at all.
Ivan, what's his boy? Ivan Redcatch. John Molina Jr. stopped him. If Danny Garcia have all this power, why the hell didn't he stop him? John Molina Jr. stopped Redcatch. It's not like he ain't been stopped before. Danny Garcia goes the distance with him, but he's a knockout puncher. Get out of here with that, bro.
Yeah. I mean, he isn't that bad. I mean, look, he's one of them guys that... He's one of them guys that...
Go ahead, Stu.
Go ahead. Go, no, you go ahead, bro. Go on.
He's a come forward guy that likes to plant his feet and get power behind his hooks. That's the way he fights. He's looking to do that. Whether he's been successful at 47, getting the knockouts or not, doesn't deviate from. That's the plan he's got, and it's enough to make guys uncomfortable, right?
Yeah, Jaguar had Danny beating Porter and Thurman. I mean, Jaguar is going to evaluate the way he scores fights.
Pound for pound, that's probably the JFL with another account.
Look, I don't care who it is. He's talking out of his fucking arsehole. He didn't win them fights at all. When has Danny ever done enough to win a fight? It's always lackluster. It's draining just watching the guy. Just low energy, isn't he? Real low energy and never ups the gears.
That's why he gets outworked.
He does, bro. He gets outworked.
Yeah.
Because, like you said, his feet always have to be in the right position, being that's his left hook. And if he's always dragging that foot, trying to get himself in the right position. So if you step out even an inch, you feint back a little, he has to come in a little more. So everything has to be right for him to land that shot, because he doesn't set it up with anything. It's not like he's not working it off or fucking setting it up with anything. And he definitely doesn't set a trap. It's just he's trying to catch you at the right fucking time. It's all he's doing. He's trying to catch you.
I bet you
it's like it's like the computer game Knockout Kings. If you keep pressing the fucking square button, one of the hooks going to land eventually, isn't
it? Hey Jimmy, we kept talking boxing, Jimmy, and the rest of you guys, bro. If I came off aggressive like that, I apologize.
Nah, dude. Nah, I
because we kept talking, but I was going to get back to that. I mean, I heard you when you said it, so I won't like just trying to ignore that shit. That's for the rest of you.
No, I know, dude. Because I try, like, sometimes if I apologize to that kid the other day. Like, I just started like, when you guys don't know what the fuck you're talking about. I was like, wow, maybe you were joking. Maybe I don't know you good enough. It sounded like you were. So when you said that, I was like, I think he's getting a little angry right now, maybe. But listen, I can understand because right now, when you're in a position where everybody else in the panel isn't going with your fighter, and I'm not saying, listen, I'm big on Lopez. I think the kid's talent. He's got to corral that in. And personally, I don't think it's so much physically. He can't make 140. I think his father knows the kid doesn't take it serious enough on the outside. I think he loves his life. I think he loves to eat. He loves to fuck. He loves to party, like a lot of fighters. And it gets harder and harder as you get older. That's all. I think he's physically, but he would have to lay it all. What's that, brother?
Young men go through the weight divisions. Nathan Cleverly started at fucking welterweight, fought at a cruiserweight at the end of his career. When you're a young guy, you just get
he started that.
You get bigger and bigger, don't you, as you get older? And that's just the way it is.
You just get bigger. That's just the way it is. I mean, like people make a big deal out of, oh, look, I get PEDs do play a part of it, but men usually just get bigger as they get older. Whatever weight you are now,
testosterone level drops too. It starts just steadily dropping.
Whatever weight you guys are now, most of you guys, I guarantee you weren't like that when you were in your 20s. I can guarantee you that.
I was.
Maybe D. Maybe you, DJ.
Yeah, because you're a big
Yo, I know somebody like that. Dude is my age. He's the same weight he was when he was probably a teenager. He's probably the same fucking weight.
Me. I'm 45, bro. And I've been like hovering between 135 and 150 most of my life.
Your
only time I
metabolism
was
is
any
fast.
bigger is when I came home from the penitentiary.
You're a tiny guy then, man, aren't you?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, you're a tiny little man, D.
But wait, how tall are you, D?
5'6".
That's 135, 150. That's not that bad. That's actually pretty good.
No, 5'6". If you're lean at 5, if you're 150 lean at 5'6", that's pretty muscular.
That's pretty muscular, yeah.
Yeah, but it's still a small guy, isn't it? 5'6", a small guy, man.
Well, how tall are you used to?
6'2".
I'm a monster of a man. That's all you need to know.
Because people were saying in the chat, people are saying that I'm 5'1" and that I got a pony. And then I mean,
that's with lifts.
BDA is 5'11".
Listen, you gotta do to know what BDA looks like, because I know what he looks like. Think of Vladimir Klitschko. That's what he looks like.
that's not true at all, man.
BDA is a white Mexican. He's a white Mexican.
I wanted to ask you, fellas, because I don't know. This is Stu's show, so I don't know when he's going to end it. But before you guys run out of steam, I just wanted to get your opinion on because I think the guy who stole the show this past Saturday was Jaron Ennis. Yeah, he beat the crap out of
Boots.
Yeah. Hey, by the way, is his name Jaron or J-Ron? Because I like
J-Ron.
J-Ron. Yeah,
J-Ron. Yeah.
Yeah, but what do you guys think about him? I'm curious to hear your opinion. I mean, that guy looked fantastic.
I think he
gets
looks
a little
great.
wild.
I think he looks great. He continues to look great. But the thing is, he's 26-0, 24 knockouts or some crazy thing. But that was the best I think the kid's faced so far, and that kid was a slob. I mean, not for nothing. I tweeted out, fucking, the worst NBA player looks like LeBron James when you play high school kids. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying the kid ain't talented, but he needs to fucking fight somebody who pitches back.
Oh,
you know what I mean? Like somebody has at least an outside chance of winning. They're treating this kid like a 7-fight prospect. It's crazy. Yeah. It's like, okay, I mean, I've been watching this kid for years now, right?
26
and he is talented.
The way boxing is today, mate, you've got to be moving on quickly. We ain't got time for you to be fighting fucking cannon fodder after cannon fodder. 26 fights, couldn't name you one of them. So that's
if you want to catch up to the Errol Spence, Terrence Crawfords of the world, you got to step it up because he looked good. He looked good, but you put him in there against Errol Spence, he's going to sleep.
He has as many fights as those guys.
Yeah.
He gets a little overzealous. He tries to abuse his speed, getting reckless with his hooks. And he's landing on point.
But he's not.
You can do that, Johnny, with lesser talent. You know what I mean? That's where the bad habits, right, Johnny? I mean, Gonzalo, you know that bad habits set in. When you fight, it's like when I used to play hockey with kids who weren't as good as me, and if I played, like I went on like an idiot, I played on a lower team once, and it did a fucking just bad habits. You can get away with things you can't get away with good guys. So it's just about, and I truly believe the best brings out the best out of most people, anyways. But when you're just constantly fucking fodder, it's just, what are you gaining?
Well, drag you down, man. Drag you down to a level when you're. I mean, it's like when you're in a, like you said, in a team. When you're playing in a team with people that are far inferior to you, they sort of drag you down to a level because, you know, you go with the best players. Like, well, you get an average player goes to Barcelona and looks a world beater because he's surrounded by world class players. Do you know what I mean? And that's what when you're mixing it with the best. But when you're mixing it with the best sort of thing, you'll learn from the best. When you're mixing it with cannon fodder, and then they stick you in there with a fucking a warrior, a lion or something, you know, who's been around the block, you're not ready for them sort of guys. You know, you've got to get in there early. I reckon these days 12, 13 fights is enough. They should be going up to the European level and then up to the world level by 15, 16 fights. I just don't see the point of having all this talent coming through, like Kell, Brook, having 33, 34 fights before he's fought anyone, burnt out the time he's had a chance to enjoy it. Do you know what I mean?
Well, hold on. I got to interject here because he's 23 years old. It's not like he's 27 and he's been fucking around.
26 fights, age don't mean nothing. 26. Teofimo's that age. He's fighting Lomachenko.
Yeah, but he's not 27, 28 like Errol Spence was when he was about to fight Kell Brook. You know, it's like, and it's first of all the guy he beat, Abreu. He went 12 rounds or 10 or 12 rounds with he went a distance with Kavaliauskas and with Vesputin. Now Kavaliauskas looked like crap against him. It was a good fight. It was a good fight.
A usual Kavaliauskas performance there.
Okay, yeah. But then Vesputin boxed circles around the guy. So we're all high on Vesputin. Then Ennis comes in along, J-Ron. And he J-Rons Abreu. So I mean, he showed everything. He fought on the inside, he fought on the outside. Abreu is a tough test for anybody, man. And I'm surprised that you guys thought that.
No, I'm not questioning the talent. I'm not questioning his talent at all. I'm just saying that 26 fights, that's far too many. He should have stepped up a long time ago. The time this guy gets to the big boys, you're talking 30-odd fights, more than that. I mean, do you really want to see another Wilder where he's just padded record, and then as soon as he steps in with the live contender, it falls to pieces?
J-Ron Anus.
No, he's really good, though. He's really good.
He's talented, absolutely, brother. He is.
No, he's talented.
My thing is this. My thing is this, right? Anytime you see that kind of talent with a fighter, but they're spending because he looked like a world-class fighter that night. Like he looked like he could be one of the best welterweights in the world. So my thing is this: why are they fighting this kid? Because yes, although that dude's could be a tough out, it's still not. He's not even what you would consider a gatekeeper. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So my thing.
What is he learning by that?
He's not signed to any of the majors. That's why. Like
but my thing is this: why is these people? I always my first go-to is my first go-to in that situation is chin check. There are people know something we don't. Is that why? And I'm just throwing it out there. You could have a fucking granite chin. I'm just saying in some cases that's what happens. Your people know what you can take by seeing you train. They know what your chin can take, and they want to avoid the top guys until they can get you in that big payday. That's all.
He seemed like a cool. My bad. Yeah, he seemed like a cool cat. He was on Punch Drunk shit the other day. He seemed like a cool cat. And it's J-Ron. I'm not calling that from now. Yo, BDA. Calling him that. Yo, hold on. BDA. 1 second, BDA. It's dog. I'm calling him that from now on. J-Ron.
There you go. You heard it first. You heard it here first. Now, can you turn your camera off, please? Because we got the Discord on the YouTube, and then there you go. Thank you. We just want to see the symbols. But yeah, I'm surprised you guys. What?
My bad.
That's okay. Yeah, I'm just surprised that you fellas think that you're not that high. I mean, I'm telling you.
No, I didn't say that. I didn't say that. I said looks of talent, but 26 fights is far. We should have seen a lot more of this kid in there with better fighters in his 26th fight. I mean, I just don't think that helps anyone.
Not necessarily, because Canelo was 23. He already had 50 fights, but he was fighting, 4 or 5 times a year.
Yeah, but
Canelo's
times have
also
changed.
19
Times
as
have
well.
changed since Canelo was a kid. Times
Yeah, and
have
this guy's
changed.
23. It's not like he's fucking 47 or
When
something.
Canelo had 20-something fights, he was like 18, 19.
Look, Canelo fought Floyd Mayweather at 21 years old, man. Come on, man. Let's not go there.
But that's my point. He fought Canelo fought nothing but step up guys, nothing but tomato.
And look what happened to look what happened when he fought Floyd.
Oh, but come on, he stepped in there. You found best in the world, man. Come on.
Well, it don't matter. That's my point.
I had a quick question. When I had to pop off, I heard you talking about Loma and Teofimo. I just wanted to recognize his 2 cents on that since he's back now, and I don't know if Precise was up on it. Oh, I know Precise is shit, but
I think really quick, Johnny boy, just on that, I would just say that that definitely, I'm going with Loma. I gotta go with Loma. He's the better skill fighter. He's the more experienced. I think that's going to play in this fight. I think that's going to play a huge part in why he wins.
Yeah.
Can I just read the super chat quickly because I miss OG Boogie says live life and prosper, and thank you for the donation. Crack on, boys.
All right, G Boogie. Shout out to G Boogie, man.
Yeah, I gotta say about Jaron Ennis, he's gotta be one of the fastest welterweights out there. His speed is really impressive, and I don't know if they call him boots because he's also got good legs. But he's got long dimensions, so he's got the intangibles. I like that, and he creates power with the speed because he's lanky.
Look, he can learn more in one fight against a top contender at least than he will fighting 4 bums. That's my point. Put him in where some good guy. He's ready now. His skills wise, he's ready. Put him in with a live contender now. So let's see where we are, because he's going to learn more in that fight than he ever will knocking bums over. 26 fights, time to move on, man. He wouldn't get away with that. Even Hearn wouldn't get away with that in the UK. Wouldn't.
Well, the good news with that is that he's with the PBC. They got most of the welterweight, so there should be no problem in putting a good opponent in front of him.
Sorry.
Yeah.
What are you laughing at?
That's what they need.
No, that was just. I thought you were setting it up for like. You know what I mean?
No, what's that? But listen, okay. Maybe if they run out of money,
matches him.
Yeah, if they run out of money and they can't put him on TV, then it's gonna be a problem. But if they can have the dates on Fox or Showtime, whatever, and they can get him the fights. See, I don't want to see the usual PBC route with Ennis. I don't want them to put him in there against Ross Salka or put him in there against Chris Algieri. Yeah, that's why I put him in there against that. Well, I'm gonna ask you guys because I gotta jump off again. But who do you think?
Virgil
who
Ortiz.
would you like to fight now?
BD.
I mean, Ortiz is a bit too far from him. I'm not expecting him to go.
I think that'd be a good fight because
it would, but I'm not expecting that from him. I'm expecting someone like
Lopez or Jamal James.
Yeah, look, Lopez would be a good fight for him. There's guys at 147 around that level that would give him a test. That's what you want. I'm not expecting him to go in there with Virgil Ortiz or Errol Spence and people like that. Come on.
You know something? I think the reason why they're being cautious with Jaron Ennis, even though he's got a lot of talent, Jaron Ennis has a brother that used to box, or a cousin, whatever the fuck he was. I forgot. I know they're related. That I know for sure. His name is Derek.
Cleveland, right?
Derek Ennis. You ever heard of him?
Yeah. I know Derek Ennis.
Yeah. They're related. I think they're brothers.
See, I didn't know that. Okay, but J-Ron is good. Derek
Ennis had a lot of hype too when he was not like super hype, but there was some hope for him.
Do you think there could be a future? Do you think there could be a future fight between him and Haney? Would that be a fight you guys would see in the future?
Too small.
I mean, like Haney. Yeah, but Haney. I think Haney will go up to 147 eventually. I do.
I do too. I want to talk about J-Ron Anus versus Ugas, son. I bet you Ugas beats his fucking ass. You want to bet on that?
He's too low.
I'll probably take Ugas, yeah.
I wouldn't say that because he's got the intangibles. He's got the speed and the power, and he's length. He's got length. So I always gotta favor the younger guy, man, when he's got the intangibles. I gotta say that.
Hey, Jerron Ennis is 23, right? So by the time Devin Haney reached 154, that kid will be gone already, bro. He's 23. He's 5'10", so he's not gonna be staying here.
What? Yeah, I thought you said he's 147. I thought you said he's 147.
Yeah, he's at 147 now, but he's 23 and he's 5'10".
Yeah, he's gonna. He's gonna probably outgrow it. Yeah.
He'd be gone by the time Devin Haney.
He doesn't look like he's got.
What they're gonna have to do. They're gonna have to get Haney to win a belt at 140, throw him a title, and then get the fight there, probably at a catch weight or something. That's how they could make it. But like I said, it probably moved on by then.
Stu, that little clown ain't winning no belt at 140. He'll get his dome smashed open. I promise you that.
Why? But there's some with PBC.
No, but my point, Johnny, is you never know with these belts. They could fucking strip someone and then stick him in there with
it. That's true too.
You also got some physiques like Chico Corrales, like Paul Williams, maybe Tommy Hearns, that you can make the weight, and you're a fighter that could remain. Some of the best fighters that I've seen, maybe like a Mayweather, Pacquiao, Julio Cesar Chavez, can remain in their division because their metabolism is just perfect like that. They don't need to be going up in weight. Even with time, like D. Jefferson was saying, he's naturally a small guy like that. Some fighters are like that.
Hey, BDA,
just a discipline.
hang on a sec. I'm going to have to go, so someone's going to have to take over because I'm going to go to sleep. I'm really tired now. BDA, you there?
You don't go until I tell you to go. That's number one.
The BDA's opened at the gulags.
Well, listen, because if I'm not able to host here, so if you gotta go, then we gotta end it. But let's just give a minute for everybody to just a couple of last words, maybe if they have something to say.
Of course, man. Yeah, of course.
All right, well, I'll just say one thing.
Appreciate you, BDA. Everybody else, I'm going to smoke some air. Peace out.
Nice. Check out Speak Your Minds. Check out Speak Your Mind Sports Talk. That's Dee's channel. He's there almost every day streaming. Check it out. I've been there a couple of times. Great discussion, and it's like here at BDA. We discuss things. We all have opposing viewpoints, but at the end of the day, it's just boxing. So check out Speak Your Mind Sports Talk. And shout out to D. Jefferson.
Yeah, shout out to D. He's been a good addition to the show tonight. So is Johnny, Jimmy. We had Del Boy in the house. Always a pleasure to have Del Boy. Precise passed through. We had Revolution in the house. We've got. Have I missed anyone? Gonzalo. Gonzalo. We got Jimmy. We got Jimmy in the house. BDA popped in.
Hey,
Bucho was here for a bit.
What am I, Mirage?
Yeah. You've been doing
listen,
you've been doing this to me all night, you motherfucker. Where's my fucking drink?
Hey, listen, I did say Johnny. I said your name second, Johnny, but I was going to leave the last to recognise the Matrix. I mean, pleasure to hear him. I mean, I honestly thought he'd been kidnapped by the Mexican mafia and beheaded or something, or he'd been caught, with his dodgy DVDs and been sent to prison.
Yeah,
we thought something bad happened.
Recognize, I thought the Nietas got you in Brooklyn or something.
Oh man, I was too fast. I was too fast, John.
but let me just say this real quick before we end it. Derevyachenko's gonna knock Charlo the fuck out, and I'm gonna look a fucking genius. Everybody subscribe to Johnny Boy's Slick Talk, Pain, and Torture fucking channel. God bless everybody.
All right, Johnny Boy, take it easy, man.
And BDA, I just wanted to say real quick, too, with that kid Boots Ennis, the reason why I was saying 26 is too many for him, it's because of that's how much talent. If he was just a fucking 23-year-old kid,
exactly,
like you said, he's young. It's because he's got so much talent.
Exactly.
Why is he still hanging off in the cheap seats?
Exactly. This is my point. I try to get this across. I mean, the
Good
guy,
point, man.
if he's learning on the job, then fair enough. But this kid, obviously, he's got things done. He knows what he's doing in a boxing ring. Time to step him up.
Although BDA did say that Abreu was kind of a tough guy because he gave two guys problems.
Yeah, but look, he's a good fighter. This kid's a good fighter, man. There's no doubt in that. But time to step up now. 26 fights in today's boxing is just far too Too many fights for me.
I agree.
We've not really. When you look what Usyk's achieved in 17 fights, and Lomachenko and Joshua, people like that, you know, fucking Josh Taylor for a start, and what they've achieved.
That's going to be good fights too. The guy
I mean,
he's fighting, he's got a lot of knockouts. He's kind of heralded. We don't know nothing about him, but he's got a high KO ratio.
Yeah, Josh Taylor gets hit, and he gets hurt at times. So yeah,
We'll
it's
see.
gonna be good. Yeah.
Yep.
But look,
Julio Cesar Chavez is fighting too, Stu. Chavez Jr.
oh well, yeah, well, yeah. I'll probably pop to the shop when that one's on.
What if he wins by knockout? What are you taking?
Hey, Gonzalo, wake me, Gonzalo, wake me up when the fight's over, right? Let me know.
All right.
Yeah, if he wins by knockout, make sure you heard it here first. Chavez is going to get another title shot. He's going to be fighting Callum Smith, or he's going to be fighting Beterbiev next. Or he's one win away from Mexicans thinking again, oh, this guy's good, man. He's going to be fighting again. Nah.
Well, one round with these Mexicans, man. They see one decent round of him. He's back.
Yeah, you're right about that, BDA. It's going to be at 175 if he fights again.
How many chances has this guy gotten? But I think that the Jacobs fight finally sealed the deal for whatever fancy.
I think he's coming out of the closet, BDA.
You know what? It would surprise me if he says that just to get some traction back in his, like Hollywood people. When they
like Frank Maloney turned to a woman to get attention.
Just to get some traction back, right? Some popularity.
Yeah, well, that's what Kelly Maloney did, or Frank, whatever you want to fucking call it. I mean, look, the guy lost his fighters, become irrelevant in life. So what's he do? Puts a wig on, high heels, calls himself fucking Kelly, and has a tit job. I mean, it's probably one of the most embarrassing things, and he did it to get attention. I mean, people like that.
Well, listen,
hey, come on, I mean, what did this guy not think this over? Because he said I want to get back into boxing promotion through Kelly Maloney Promotions. Who's gonna walk in the ring with that freak next to her?
Okay, come on, man. Now, hold on, I gotta say those are Stu's views. They do not represent the BDO organization.
Listen, it's everyone's fucking views. Let's keep it real here. Look, who's going to walk in the ring? Can you imagine being the most dangerous man on the planet, having that little fucking freak walking into you? It's not going to happen, is it?
Oh my god!
Hey, can you imagine Wilder walking in with his fucking suit with Kelly Maloney and his wig next to him?
Yes, I can imagine that. Yes.
You know what I mean? Come on, man. He never thought it through. He did it for attention. Got no time.
Hey, Stu, give it some time. It's going to happen soon.
I'm surprised the BBC hasn't hired you yet, Stu.
Huh?
I'm surprised the BBC hasn't hired you yet.
Hey, hired me. Hey, listen, I speak my mind and I speak the truth. The BBC, BBC are a communist channel
exactly.
now.
That was my point.
They're anti-British, left-wing
you
scum.
scare people like them. They're scared of
Listen,
people
mate,
like you.
They don't want people like me on their show.
No, they want to silence you.
Mate, I mean, I watched Match of the Day. They've sacked a load of the punters on Match of the Day, which is, Match of the Day in England, where all the Premiership games on Saturday night, there's a highlight show. It's been a British tradition for years where the family usually get together when you're not going out and get together and watch the football. And Match of the Day have had these pundits on for a while. Sky as well. And I was reading the other day, they've started to sack all the old white guys and bring in a bit of colour into the fucking program.
Same thing in the NHL.
An old white guys get replaced by a young black guy sort of thing. And I've seen with the BBC and Sky, they're doing it. They're getting rid of a lot of the old school white guys that do the reporting, and they're bringing in guys from other races. Sort of thing. So it's just
Bucho wants a link because he's not on anymore. He wants the link. He wants to say something before we go, I think.
Well, I don't know how to do the link.
Okay, well, give me two seconds. And by the way, G Boogie, shout out to G Boogie. He says, "Oh, come on." Well, he just donated with a super chat. He says, "Julio Cesar Chavez is my." Okay, I'm not gonna say the word because we could get. Yeah, thanks, G Boogie. Thanks for the
shout out to G Boogie.
G. Stu, when I was a kid, British television, the BBC was the edgy shit. They had like,
it used to be, yeah.
Benny Hill. They used to have fucking
Bernard Manning, Benny Hill,
yeah,
fucking.
exactly.
They used to have. Who was the other one? Davison, Jim Davison. I mean, all these people. Yeah, Alf Garnett. All these people were like racist. They were classed as they'd be classed as racist today. But BBT used to be quite edgy. Now it's all political correct. You got a fucking snowflake, especially women. Every time you turn the BBC on, there's some snowflake do-gooding women talking about equal rights and diversity. I mean, they make you cringe, don't they? I mean, and this stupid bitch. I mean, she's probably never befriended a fucking person with another race in their life. She'll sit there and call people like me racist who have friends from all races. I mix with anyone, but because I keep it real, I'll see what's happening. I'm a fucking racist. I mean, this is where we are. This is why I can't watch the news. I just can't watch it, man. The BBC, I mean, a lot of people are refusing to pay the BBC now. Because the BBC would bring the BBC, you have to pay the BBC. Everyone has to pay the BBC, right? That has a telly in the house. And when you don't pay, they send like fucking bailiffs around and stuff. Do you know what I mean? And that's how fucked it is. But a lot of people are standing up to them. A lot of people say, "No, you don't support my views. You know, I'm not paying you. I don't want to." They've never put anything good. It's always political stuff now, and it's always real. The comedy has dropped in standards. I mean, you used to get like alpha male comedians. Now you're getting like little fucking pufters in pink shirts. Pufters in pink shirts walking on the stage. Like, you know, I mean, nearly every comedian I see on the TV these days in the UK is a homosexual. I mean, it's like that's all they hire these days.
The problem is, we were about to leave. Stu said he was tired. Then all of a sudden, the BBC comes up, and whoops, he gets a second wave of energy. Get the fuck out of here!
Yeah, because they make me sick to my stomach, man. This anti-British communist scum.
Bucho's here. Bucho, what's up? Calling Bucho 1 2 3. He's taking a dump again. Listen. I don't know what to tell you guys. Because if I gotta end it, if Stu tells me to end it, I gotta go into the shed, the BDA shed headquarters, and I gotta run back.
Hey, do I still have a job at the headquarters or what? What's the deal?
Absolutely.
Oh well, we're gonna discuss that after the show. I mean, you can't just go AWOL. It's a bit like. Yeah, I mean, look, you know when you've seen the film with Van Damme, AWOL, when he leaves the French Foreign Legion and he goes on the run, and you know they come and got him. All right, you know they let him back, but they weren't very happy with him. That's where
I went to use my old keys to see if I could open the headquarters, and I could see the locks would change.
Yeah, recognize he's been fighting a tiller, isn't he, in a fucking an empty swimming pool. He was fighting
hospitals.
Bucho was asking me 21 questions. Like I'm like, what's up, Bucho? He's like, is this the real Recognize?
How's the PDA shed look like? Is it like the Beautiful Mind, that place where he's got all his things tacked onto the wall, like all the newspaper clippings?
Yeah, but instead of mathematical equations, it's just like porn. A bunch of gay porn. No, but you know what?
You ain't got a picture of that fucking H Money's dick on your fucking wall.
Recognize. You should have seen that, man. The H Money was on his stream, and some dude, because I don't know what type of people he has on his show, but some dude jumped on the webcam naked, and it was that's the type of show they run over there. So it's
what?
Yeah,
I'm not
sure. He recognized he's sitting there swinging it in front of the fucking camera.
Hey, but recognize
this is the zone.
Recognize. Here's the thing. I got your email address, and I sent you a whole bunch of emails. I don't know if it's your real email address or if you gave me a fugazi one, because I remember, like giving people any information about you. So I don't know if that was a real one, but yeah, I was reaching out.
You know what? I just turned it. I haven't turned that part on. I'm gonna turn it on, so I'm gonna see if I got all your emails.
I was like a Jewish mother. I was thinking the worst. I was thinking, okay, Recognize got kidnapped. He's in the basement somewhere.
Yeah.
I was thinking the worst.
We thought Recognize had a Tony Spilotro disappearance where he'd been baseball batted and buried in a hole in a cornfield. That's what
I thought.
That's what we honestly thought. But listen, there's a gotta get it in.
No, I was gonna say I thought they gave him COVID to add to the numbers. I'm like, did they COVID my boy? They COVIDed my boy to bring up the New York numbers. Oh, no.
Look what they did to my boy. But yeah, listen, I don't know if Bucho's there. He said he sent me a link. Now he's here. He's we gotta go, Bucho. We gotta go.
Benny, we got a super chat here. G Boogie says Benny Hill was the man. too bad the BBC did him wrong. Of course they did him wrong. I totally agree with you, Stu. Too many feminist agenda. Look, do you think the women of today, these crybaby little snowflakes that can barely clean their fucking house, right, are going to want a man like Benny Hill perving all over them on the screen? Because let's be real, that's what his act was, just perving over women all day, and everyone loved it, didn't they? But you never get away with that now with this feminist agenda, these snowflakes all around. Oh, I mean, they're always crying about something, aren't they? Always. No one likes me. You know, fuck off, nigga. You're right. We don't like you. You're fucking cum dumpsters.
You would have thought the Tories took such a fucking ass kick in that, you know what I mean? The country obviously doesn't reflect what the BBC's selling, you know what I mean? It's just shocking that they didn't change even a little.
Tom says, Tom's got it right here. Tom's spot on. Tom says the BBC are shirt lifters. Part of the old boys club, which is a paedophile club, by the way. In other words, I could handpick a bunch of 60-odd men who would crush the rowers from Oxford to Cambridge, but the rule the roost, and that's how it is. In other words, the boat race in the UK is a race every year. It's a tradition between Cambridge University and Oxford. And they're all posh boys that usually end up being politicians. And this guy's basically saying the guys from the streets and the normal schools, the public schools, would crush these guys, but they'll never get the chance. And he's right. In England, it's a class thing. Everyone seems to think it's a race thing. It's not. It's not a race thing in the UK. It's a class thing. And they look down on poor white people, probably even worse than they do on poor.
Well, there you have it, guys.
The races. So
there you have it. Now listen, OG Boogie, shout out to OG, says recognize the Matrix was taking care of business with the Salvatrucha. Oh, shout out to OG Boogie, G Boogie for the contribution.
Oh.
Now we're making up stories about recognize. But anyway, listen. Point is,
that's a secret, BBA.
Well, I didn't say anything. That's OG. We got to go. Stu, fantastic job. You go ahead and get yourself some mashed potatoes or smashing potatoes, whatever they call it over there.
Toast and cheese.
Some jellied eels.
Cheese on toast. Get it right, for fuck's sake.
Oh, sorry, cheese on toast. There you go.
Get yourself
with
some
a bit of black pepper. Hey, recognise next time, right? You cheese one side, toast one side in the grill, turn it over, put the cheese on, bit of black pepper. Oh, mate.
I'm gonna
keep going all day, that will, son.
That sounds like a good idea. I'm trying that.
We gotta end this, man. So thanks a lot for joining us, everybody. Like Lucian was here, Johnny Boy dropped by it as well, Bucho, Gonzalo, Jimmy. We got recognized.
Thanks for having me, Stu. Good job tonight, Stu. Thanks for having me, guys.
Thank
you guys
you,
all
Jimmy.
be safe, all right?
Yeah, I knew Jimmy. Good seeing you, brother.
Peace, everybody, man. Glad to be
recognize.
back on, bro.
Pleasure having you back, man. Don't be a stranger, yeah.
No, I'm back, man. I took all the time off I
man.
needed. I was on vacation.
Yeah, you better fucking be here, man. Next time.
Otherwise, mate, we might have to fucking come looking for your son.
Oh.
Well, BDA send a missing report on me. I know that.
I didn't go that far. I got things to do, man. Sorry, you're on your own.
We'll sign off now, anyway. Thanks for all the guys that helped me do this show. I couldn't do it without them.
Peace, Stu, man. Good talking to you guys, Gonzalo. Yeah, always a pleasure, brother. Peace, man.
In a bit, boys. See you later, boys.
Take it easy, fellas. Hey, by the way, let me just read real quick. Before we do go, Chris K, Evan Deere, John Gonzalez, and OG Boogie, thank you for your contributions, fellas. Really appreciate it. Fantastic. Again, Stu, good job. Gonzalo, you're the only one here, so take it away, man.
Everybody have a great night. Later.
There you go. Fantastic. All right, take it easy, Gonzalo. And you fellas out there, take it easy as well. Everybody in BDA land, where's the chat? Ah, fuck, I can't read the chat. I'm using an outdated platform here, but everybody in the chat, you know who you are. Vince Vegas, Robin Hood, Oliver's Army. I can't scroll to the fucking website. All right, anyway, guys, you know who you are. Thanks again for being on. We'll be back to preview the Derevyachenko versus Charlo extravaganza. It's going to be a jam-packed card, so we'll stay tuned for that one, and we'll see you in the next one, fellas. Thanks for watching. Ooh, almost stumbled there a little bit.
Disappointed in every one of you.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to offend you.
I'm disappointed in every one of you.
I kiss you on the mouth.
No, I'm not cool with that. I'm sorry.
One more time.
I'm disappointed in every one of you.
I mean, I'm dealing with degenerate animals.
I'm I'm disappointed in everyone. Totally disappointed in everyone. All right, come on.
Honestly, I can't do it no more.
I'm disappointed in everyone.
Let me tell you why.
It's gonna be all right, Nicky. Go ahead, shoot.
He just killed a fucking man.
What are you going to do about it?
Yeah, because you got nothing. You don't got a thing. Yeah, because you got nothing. Lomito! Got nothing.
I want to get out. I want to get out of this rat hole. I want to get online. I need
BDA boxing.